It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in New York City. A big crowd expected at the ballpark, filing in, waiting for the final game of this three-game set. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the rubber game of this three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Nice win for the Yankees yesterday. Beat the Blue Jays 5-4. In fact, a good start to the season for the Yankees. So far, 15-9, first in the American League East. They lost only one series. That was in Boston. They lost 2 out of 3. They banged out the home runs, 43, most in the major leagues. And the back of the rotation, you look at the numbers. Cologne 2-1, 2.77, and Freddie Garcia 1-1 with a 2.00. Now, one of the guys who's really done a great job for the Yankees, exactly what they expect, Paul, is Robinson Cano.
Well, he's following up 2 back-to-back 200-hit seasons, so you know he's capable of doing these things. He's got that attitude. He started out the season kind of spraying the ball all over the place like we're accustomed to seeing. But lately, Robinson Cano has found that inside pitch, and he's found the home run ball. He's leading the team in hitting. He's leading the team in home runs, RBIs. He's making his stamp on trying to be the best second baseman in baseball.
Well, Mariano Rivera has done it his whole career, and the Yankees probably not looking forward to the time when his stuff is going to diminish. They haven't seen any of that in the month of April. You see a nice cutter right there. The velocity in yesterday's ball game up about 92, 93. Can pitch out of some tough jams, get some double plays when he needs to. Nothing new for the Yankees. Mariano Rivera had an outstanding month of April and picked up a save in yesterday's win against the Blue Jays.
And if you look at the numbers for both Cano and Rivera, a lot to smile about. Robinson Cano, the third player in Major League history with at least 30 hits and 8 home runs in consecutive Aprils. And for Mariano, an illustrious career, but the 9 saves he has at this point, it's the most in March and April that he's ever had in his career. Now, he might be on the mound again today. At least he's hoping to be, so he could save the game for the youngster, Ivan Nova. Last time out, Nova had arguably his best game ever. John Flaherty will break it down when we return on segment 2.
It was definitely going to be a quest.
I wanted to find the cafe in Barcelona where my parents first met and get a picture of us there. But it was a terrible photo.
Your Second Shot is a project by Canon to recapture lost moments.
It's going to be just awesome to go back and actually get the photo. That's it.
With the HS system, a technology that takes sharper images in low light without the flash.
Hey!
It's perfect.
Visit 17th Street Photo, New York City's newest Canon Superstore, 33 West 17th Street.
You wouldn't send a kid with a garden hose to put out a 5-alarm fire. So when you get hit by bed bugs, stop kidding around. Call Bell Environmental, the experts you can trust. Roscoe, our bed bug sniffing dog, will find the problem, and our instant freeze will fix it. Bell Environmental treats your home or office without harmful chemicals or damage to your belongings. Safe and thorough. That's Bell Environmental, the professionals you can trust.
When you fly to New York, don't wait in a taxi line. Simply call the 77s of Dial 7 Car and Limousine Service. We'll pick you up outside of baggage claim and take you to your destination in style. If you need more space, dial 7s for a minivan or limousine. We've got a bold new look, and we're the best ride in town. The 77s of Dial 7 Car and Limousine Service. 777-7777.
Welcome to segment 2, everybody. Couple moments away from the third game of this three-game set between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. We will be rejoined momentarily by Paul O'Neill. That's John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Pitching matchup, Jesse Litch is going to go for the Blue Jays, and for the Yankees, it's going to be Ivan Nova. And Nova arguably coming off his best big league start. This was against the White Sox, 6 1/3 innings, and that's the first time in his career that he actually pitched into the 7th inning. 5 hits, 1 run. He walked 2, struck out 3, and threw 92 pitches. And John, he was very sharp.
Well, he really was. He did not pick up a win and no decision in that ball game, but going deep into the game has been a problem for this young right-hander. He had an excellent curveball in that outing against the White Sox. Couple of strikeouts with it. One there to Dunn up in the zone. A good one down here. That's a pitch he had. He's also able to field his position. But I think the one thing the Yankees really like about this kid, he appreciates his defense, appreciates the work that his teammates have put in, and they're looking for a good outing this afternoon.
Now behind the plate today is Francisco Francisco Cervelli, his first action as a Yankee this year, he actually broke his left foot in spring training. He's been rehabbing. Last year he started 80 games, and he started 6 of 7 Iban Nova starts. Yankees and the Blue Jays, the rubber game. Big crowd on its way on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in New York City. And when we get back, lineups, first pitch, baseball. That's all coming up next right here on Yes.
Join Yankees Universe, the official fan club of the New York Yankees.
Members enjoy exclusive benefits, including fast-track entrance to Yankee Stadium and the New York Yankees Museum, presented by Bank of America.
Access to an exclusive website. And a subscription to MLB Game Day Audio.
Benefits increase based on the tier of membership selected.
A portion of all proceeds are donated to Memorial Sloan Kettering, benefiting pediatric cancer research. Join Yankees Universe today by visiting Yankees.com or by calling 800-GO-YANKS.
I'm going to take Allison Jenkins to the senior prom in this.
One day, I'll park this in a spot reserved for me.
Own a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, and chances are they'll own it one day too. With an optional extended limited warranty, your vehicle may be covered for up to 135,000 miles.
It's got 26,000 miles on it now, but I'm going to take it to 1,000 million.
Hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for 1.99% financing during our certified pre-owned sales event through May 2nd.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. And by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. Well, the Yankees have taken the field, and because the Blue Jays are in town, we will have 2 anthems, the Canadian national anthem and our national anthem. So let's listen on this Sunday afternoon in New York City.
Navarro was the first Puerto Rican to play in the Negro Leagues. Elected to the Puerto Rican Baseball Hall of Fame in 1992 and the Puerto Rican Hall of Fame in 2004, Navarro was drafted by the Yankees in 2008 in the ceremonial Negro League draft. He was a great tribute to the Negro League players of yesteryear. Melito was 105 years old. Thank you. Now please remain standing. First, Yankee Stadium organist Ed Alstrom will play O Canada. Then please remain standing as he will then play our national anthem.
All right, so we're ready for baseball here at Yankee Stadium. Just a beautiful Sunday afternoon, a perfect day for this great game. So we hope you settle back and enjoy it with us. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup, which is presented by Bank of America. Rajai Davis, the center fielder, will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Yunel Escobar. Jose Bautista in right field, he'll hit third. Cleaning up playing first base, Adam Lind. Juan Rivera in left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, J.P. Arancibia. David Cooper, the DH, will bat seventh. Hitting eighth and playing third base, Edwin Encarnacion. And John McDonald, kid from Connecticut. He's the second baseman. He's going to bat ninth.
A lineup for the Blue Jays going to face Ivan Nova. It'll be his sixth start of the year for the New York Yankees, coming off his best start his last outing. The numbers. Be his sixth game and fifth start. I'm sorry, 1-2, 5.82, 24 hits and 21 2/3 innings. A look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report for Nova. Last start, his longest against the White Sox, 6 1/3, longest of his career. Only one earned run in that ball game. And the third time through the order, not the charm for Nova. He has to get better at that. First time through, batting average of 188. Second time, 258. In the third and after, a batting average over 400. So definitely something to work on for him. And his little security blanket behind the plate, Francisco Cervelli, catching him this afternoon. He caught him 7 times in the past, so we'll see if it's a nice combination for the New York Yankees.
Let's check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. First game for the Yankees this year. Francisco Cervelli is just so happy to be back, so he's behind the plate. In the infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. In the outfield, left to right, Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. And as John just detailed, Ivan Nova is on the mound.
Flash, let me ask you something. This brought back little flashbacks. You know, you run out every day for the national anthem, right? And you collect your thoughts and everything, and then all of a sudden the anthem's over and you hear the crowd start to cheer and you go to put your hat on. But when you do it with the Canadian teams in town, how many times did it get you? Right after the Canadian anthem, you go to put your hat on?
Yep.
We got one more to go. We got another one to go here. So I wasn't the only one.
No, definitely not.
IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball here on Yes. All right, Ivan Nova is going to end this Yankee homestand. They split the first 4 games against the White Sox, and they split the first 2 here against the Blue Jays. So this actually is the rubber game of the homestand for the Yankees. Blue Jays coming at 13 and 14. Davis digs in. Nova is ready on the mound, and let's do it here in New York City. And the first pitch is up and in, so we are underway. Nova deals high again.
A couple of fastballs up in the zone early for Nova. His last outing against the White Sox, a curveball really his best pitch, able to throw it for a strike, able to bounce it in the dirt, pick up a few strikeouts.
There's a strike to Davis.
The scheduling early in the year, 2 4-game series in back-to-back weeks. 4-game series are tough. I mean, very easy to split, hard to win 3 out of 4. Start another 4-game series tomorrow against Detroit.
Count 2-2. And it gets real hairy if you lose the first game.
Yeah, it's I like a 2-game series and 4-game series. I mean, you get so accustomed to winning 2 out of 3 in the city and going on to the next one with a good feeling. Very hard to sweep a 2-game and win 3 out of 4 in the 4 games.
The 2-2. Foul back. I know Paul was worried about this entire series, so I looked it up. Rajai, the word Rajai means king in Sanskrit, so he's really King Davis.
King Davis.
Yep.
We had a king here, El Duque. He was a king, wasn't he?
He was a duke.
Isn't that king?
I thought Jim Leyritz was a king.
Yeah, he was a true king. There's a king right there. That's a good breaking ball.
This was the breaking ball from his last outing, able to drop it for a strike and a strikeout. You see Davis a little flinch.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. This is always Paul's favorite part. 63 degrees. It doesn't get better than that. 38% humidity, not much wind, and it is a beautiful day for baseball.
I tell you, Bigelow Tea got their money's worth this weekend. It's been a beautiful weekend since I've been here.
Here's Yunel Escobar. Pitch outside, 1-0. Six-game hitting streak for Escobar, 7 for 24 during the streak. That one is lined into center field, and right there is Granderson for the second out. Nova so much better first time through the order. The opponents hit 188 against him. Second time it's 258. Third time 400. Here's Jose Bautista. 5-game hitting streak, 17 for his last 18, also 15 for his last 33. Leads the American League in hitting and in home runs. Pitch outside.
Got to believe player of the month in the American League is on the field today, either Robinson Cano or Bautista, huh?
You would think. They might go with a pitcher, Jared Weaver.
Yeah.
That one is lined to left center field, giving Chase Granderson on the run. And he makes the play. He took an extra base hit away from Jose Bautista. Put a star next to that one as Granderson got a great jump, turned on the Jets, reached up, and it settled into the webbing. Blue Jays nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat.
Hey, have you been to my website lately? You should really check it out. Go to JetersFordChallenge.com and find out why Ford's lineup is really turning people's heads. Enter to win some great prizes. You can even watch my latest Ford commercials, outtakes, and behind-the-scenes videos. And of course, you always find great deals like these from your Tri-State Ford dealers.
Get a 2011 Edge with Sync and My Ford Touch for $259 a month.
Get online today at JetersFordChallenge.com, then get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Hi, I'm PC, your predictably correct morning radio guy.
He's not PC, not predictable. He's Imus.
So he's...
opinionated, irreverent.
I make my big-name guests comfortable so they talk.
He does bigger names and makes them uncomfortable so they squirm. Then they talk.
You want them to squirm?
Yeah, makes it more interesting.
The new Imus on 77 WABC.
We made it faster than a Mercedes C350. Gave it more torque than an Audi A4. And more horsepower than a BMW 335i. The 2011 Lexus IS 350. Because it isn't real performance unless it's wielded with precision. Get 2.9% financing on the 2011 IS 350. See your Lexus dealer.
Well, Jesse Litch will take the mound for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at today's Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face, and it's presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira is at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up, playing third base, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Jorge Posada will DH, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing left field, Brett Gardner. And Francisco Cervelli will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
Well, the New York Yankees going to get a look at Jesse Litch, right-hander for the Toronto Blue Jays. It'll be his fifth start, 2-1, a 3.86, 25 hits, and 23 and a third innings. We'll look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. And he is not an overpowering righty. He is a crafty righty, good slider, a little sinker, doesn't light up the radar gun. He gets better with age. Unlike Ivan Nova, you have to get him early. 353 batting average the first time through and 220 after, so he gets a little better as the game goes on. And he's a righty killer. Righty's only hitting 150 against him this year with 1 RBI. It's probably because of that good slider.
Here's Derek Jeter. And a breaking ball swung and missed.
You know, Michael, you talked about Granderson making a great play, but Bautista, you see where Granderson's playing right here? Dead pull hitter. The only reason he has an opportunity to even make a play on this ball was positioned him before the pitch was even thrown. Good heads-up play.
There's a ground ball to short, Escobar. And a nice scoop by Lind for the first out. Why don't we check out the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Rivera, Davis, and Bautista. That's left to right. Third to first in the infield, Encarnacion. We just saw Escobar, McDonald, and Lind. Aaron Sebia behind the plate, and Jesse Litch is on the mound. Here's Curtis Granderson. Litch has been in baseball since he was a kid. grew up in Florida, and in 2001 he wrote a 1,000-word essay to be an intern in the PR department of the Tampa Bay Rays. He always hung out in the clubhouse while he was an intern, and they made him a bat boy in 2002. And he said his favorite player there was Toby Hall.
I was there in 2002, and I guess I wasn't his favorite player, huh?
Oh, Toby Hall probably went out in the bullpen, caught him.
They're probably the same age.
He probably asked you, and you said, "No, son, I got some work to do," something like that.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do. I remember him on the field playing a lot of long toss, had a good arm.
Really?
Now, obviously, didn't look at the bat boy and say, this kid's going to be a big leaguer.
Not too many guys open their door into the big league career by writing a 1,000-word essay. Huh?
It's unusual. It's unusual also that John could be in a room of people and not be the favorite person.
Well, you know what, to be honest, that was the 5th year of my Devil Ray career. I'm sure I was a little testy at the end of that run. Maybe I wasn't as nice to Jesse as I should have been.
You got your opportunity now. You're up here. You got a microphone. You can just talk him up all day. You owe him a few good things.
I talked about his slider being a crafty righty, and he has shown early on a kind of an unusual grip, almost a circle change. Look at the action. Acts like a slider into Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's almost like a cutter, and they try to actually help him to throw the ball more fastballs, but he seems to cut everything. I don't know how you get the velocity on a cutter with that finger tucked in almost like a changeup.
Count 1-1. Well, Teixeira came to spring training and started working the winter, and he was intent on not having a bad April. And you know what? He had a pretty good April. 256, 6 homers, 16 runs batted in. Turn the calendar. Today is May 1st. Fouled away. He hit a lot earlier in the winter. Last season, hit 136 in his first 81 at-bats with 2 homers. Now 120 points more, 82 at-bats with 6 homers. Didn't lift as many weights in the offseason that he had done previously. And he said it's all an experiment. I said, well, why did you lift weights in the offseason? He said, so I could be stronger for the end of the year. I said, well, if you didn't lift weights, what if you're not as strong? He said, we're hoping that's not a trade-off, and I'm lifting weights now during the season. The 2-2. That one is driven to right field and deep. Going back, Bautista on the track, looking up. See ya! Strong enough on that swing. A solo shot for Teixeira, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, the problem with pitchers that like to throw those sliders or cutters, whatever you want to call them, and if you don't get them in and they lay out over the plate, they become home run pitches. That ball's up in the zone. You could tell off the bat I was heading for the seats.
Yeah, talking to Alan Ashby, who does some radio work for the Blue Jays, old catcher, he said, you know, Litch really has to work down probably more than anybody on their staff. Looked like a pitch up in the zone, and Mark Teixeira jumped all over it.
His eyes get wide when he's about to swing that bat. They got even wider when he went around the bases. Home run for him is 7th of the year, 17th run batted in.
Knows it's May, right? It started getting really hot there.
Alex, 4th in the American League with a .407 on-base percentage. But he has 3 hits in his last 23 at-bats. His first slide of the year, and he had yesterday as a day off. And the 3-0. That's right.
See, even a 3-0 pitch ball, a little cutter away. Nothing's going to be straight, it looks like, this afternoon.
See the break on that. You're right. 3-0s usually a fastball, especially in the first inning. Fastball down the middle. Like everything's breaking.
Strike 3. A-Rod down looking. So he paints the inside corner. A-Rod's not in love with the call. But Mark Teixeira kind of likes what he did 2-2 pitch. He drives into the seats and right. With that swing, the Yankees lead 1-0 as we go to the second inning.
Technology you've never seen before, anywhere, ever. Which raises a good point. If you're going to buy a new luxury car, shouldn't there be something new about it?
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Now more than ever, you need to be smarter with your money. Making every dollar count yields value. That's why the smart money is going to Acura of Manhattan, where the value of the cars we sell is high and our prices are low. You'll find luxury is standard at Acura of Manhattan, and that standard is high. Here's a smart play.
A brand new 2011 MDX, wisely priced at only $499 per month.
The smart money comes to Acura of Manhattan because it's smart to get luxury for less.
I have a structured settlement, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash out.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. I get long-term payments, but I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
877 cash now. 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. Call now.
Yvonne, during the course of last year, threw strikes the whole time for us. This year, it's been a little difficult. And I'm not an excuse maker. But you wonder sometimes about guys in really, really cold weather. Do they have that same feel? In the 2 starts that he really struggled, it was pretty brutal out there. And he got back on track in his last start, 65, 66 degrees outside. So for him, it's, you know, you have to control your mind. You have to be aggressive in counts, get ahead, and that's the key.
Well, no excuses today. Beautiful weather here at the stadium, about the same temperature as his last start. And he has a 1-0 lead after Mark Teixeira's home run. So Joe Girardi talking about his pitcher, Ivan Nova, who worked a 10-pitch, 1-2-3 inning in the first. 1-1 to Lind. He's high a lot so far early. Maybe he's too strong. Count 2-1. Lind has a 6-game hitting streak, 10 hits and 24 at-bats. High fly ball down the left field line, giving chase is Gardner. He's in the corner, and that one is off the wall. I say it's off the pole now, and it is a home run, according to the third base umpire, Wally Bell. Sliced it right down the line, and it stayed fair to hit the pole for a home run to tie the game.
Every once in a while, as a left-handed hitter, you just poke one down the line, and you feel like you just stole a home run because you know, everybody assumes it's just going to hook foul or slice foul, and that ball just went off the pole.
How about the swing and the reaction when he comes out of the box? Kind of surprised, you're right, that it's going to stay fair. And next thing you know, you're hoping for a double. Now it's a home run off the pole.
Yep, right, hit the screen. Here's Juan Rivera. Gives the screen a nice little shake. Pitch is high.
You're right, Michael. I mean, you see his fastball's not up in the zone, but up out of the zone, really high. Usually, I've always noticed when guys have trouble throwing their fastball down in the zone, they also have trouble throwing that curveball for a strike.
John, how do you correct it when it's up in the
Well,
zone?
I was just thinking a lot of times you'll hear a pitching coach say, you know, shorten your stride a little bit. Your stride's a little bit long, so your arm kind of drags behind a little bit. Fastball ends up, and like Paul said, the curveball as well.
So he ends up walking Rivera on 4 pitches following the foul pole home run. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Here's JP Arancibia. JP, #1 draft pick for the Blue Jays in 2007 out of the University of Tennessee. Actually attended the same high school as Alex Rodriguez in Florida, Westminster Christian. High fly ball. Fairly deep right. Swisher's there. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Rivera, but he just bluffs for the first out. That's going to bring up David Cooper, and let's check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report on Mr. Cooper.
Well, we talked about Mr. Cooper this weekend. I mean, this is his first weekend in the big league. I mean, he's a first rounder. They're expecting big things from him. Back in 08, he was a first round pick. Minor league slugger. I mean, he was hitting 393 when he got, or 395 when he got called up. So they're expecting big offensive numbers, and he's still waiting. I know it's only a couple days, but when you're just called up to the big league, you want to get rid of that first hit. He's still waiting. Mother, girlfriend, and sister are still waiting.
They changed the way they sat, though, from the first 2 games.
Don't think that's not intentional. I'm finding out stories 20 years or 10 years, 15 years later from my kids. My wife would do all kinds of things around the house to try to get you a hit. Stand on a table, different chairs, all kinds of stuff.
See, but I understood Neville doing that. She was desperate. If you didn't get hits and you came home, you were not a nice person.
Well, you know, she wanted lifetime extensions and things too. You know, she wanted me to do well, right? Imagine being a 5-year-old kid and watching your mom like stand on tables and go to different chairs, and you're thinking, you know, what's wrong with this lady? Here, I thought Dad was a nut. Now my mom's turning on me.
The 1-0. There's a strike.
Just thinking, I've seen my wife stand on tables, but it had nothing to do with baseball games. No.
Lucky you, huh?
After dinners, maybe, you know.
See, we've been at this a lot longer than you, Michael. All these stories are yet to come in your life, you know, all these wife stories.
So you mean Jody's going to stand on the table so I have a good broadcast?
You're so new to the game. You just got so many things to look forward to.
One game, 2 home runs so far. Solo shots by Mark Teixeira and Adam Lind. Rivera leads off first with 1 out.
Wow. Flash, how's Nova hold runners? Because Toronto has made it a point to run this series. They've stolen third base numerous times.
You know, he does a pretty good job, but you watch Rivera, and all these guys seem to be peeking, trying to look at signs, trying to pick a curveball yesterday for AJ, which Russell Martin talked to Jack Curry after the game. Seemed to be running on a lot of off-speed pitches, picking the right pitch.
Tom Farrell was talking about it. He said we kept running on 2-strike pitches because our scouting report shows that AJ likes to bounce that breaking ball with 2 strikes. And they're second in the American League in stolen bases, the Blue Jays. A far cry from Cito Gaston's days when he would sit back and just let things develop. And the Royals are 34 stolen bases. Short pop-up into right field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit, and that's his first major league hit.
It counts.
Get that baseball.
Look at that. There we go. What a relief.
And there's the ball. Goes to Butterfield, and he'll get it into the dugout. And that'll go on somebody's trophy case.
All right, Paul, where's your first major league base hit baseball? You have it displayed anywhere?
No, to tell you the truth, I'm trying to think. It's downstairs in the archives. It's kind of a thing. They're drop. Yeah, I see that.
That's good. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. Well, John, I mean, Paul's a guy, you know, his batting title bat, he says it's under the couch somewhere in the basement.
That first baseball, that first hit should be something.
You know what? That's one of your fondest memories, though. I mean, when you look back at your major league career, immediately you can think of your first hit. There's no trying to, draw that back. It's there.
Where's yours, John?
Well, I know it's hard to believe with the last name Flaherty. I have a bar in my basement.
Really?
And it's displayed in the bar.
Yeah.
So I have a glass top. If you ever swagger up to the bar and you can look down at the baseballs.
It's a pretty big league, isn't it, Michael?
I've been to the house. It is big league. Yeah, very nice.
You know, it's amazing. He's been to my house. I've never been to his couple of cottages.
Larry Rothschild comes out and talks with Ivan Nova. All in due time, John. What do you think Rothschild's saying here? Is he just trying to slow him down, or has he noticed something specific?
Yeah, it might be the stride length, like I mentioned. I mean, the end result is pitches up in the zone, and he's got enough of a fastball. He can do that when he wants to, but he's got to work down with a little bit of movement. Nobody better at breaking down the mechanics. You talked about it, Paul, with Larry Rothschild.
Some people just love what they do. Larry Rothschild's one of those guys. Kevin Long loves to just look at hitting and kind of break it down into certain things. Michael Kay just loves what he does. That's just the way it is.
Popped up by Encarnacion, so whatever Rothschild said, it worked, as Teixeira puts away the second out.
We okay today, Michael?
I think so.
We had a little spat in the first inning yesterday, huh?
I actually walked into the stadium, say about 10:30, and there's a gentleman outside gate 2, and he runs up to me. I didn't know what was, he said, "Don't let O'Neill interrupt you anymore." I said, "I don't know if I have much choice, but thanks." Here's John McDonald. John McDonald knew how to, or learned how to throw with accuracy from all over in the infield, starting at 7 years old. He would play catch with his dad, and his dad said, "If I've got to reach, I'm not going to reach. You got to hit me in the chest." And so every time the ball was not at the chest, little John would have to go chase it. So he learned how to do that. There's a fly ball left field. Gardner is there, and that will do it. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. The 1 run on 1 swing. Adam Lynch goes the other way, almost by accident, and it just kisses the foul screen for a home run.
The New York Yankees are great moments.
See ya! What a play! He got him!
Yankee fans, bring your family, friends, or business associates to Yankee Stadium for a group outing and enjoy Yankees baseball in a game day suite. Game day suites can accommodate groups as small as 12 and up to 382 guests with all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage packages. Make your special occasion legendary. Call 212-YANKEES, email suites@yankees.com, or log on to yankees.com/suites.
Get out of the cookie-cutter carpool and ditch the box on wheels for this. The road-ripping, fuel-friendly Mazda 3. It outperforms Civic and Corolla with more standard horsepower and available high-tech features. Because if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. What do you drive? During the New York Auto Show, lease a new Mazda 3 for just $149 a month when you get $500 bonus cash.
If you go out of your way to fly with an airline, does that airline go out of its way to reward you? It should. Because loyalty is a two-way street. And when one side gives, the other has to give back. dedicated Redcoat customer service, more first-class upgrades, miles that don't expire. This isn't benevolence. This is our business. And the next time an airline asks for yours, ask them first what they've done to deserve it.
The sounds of spring. It's a symphony best appreciated at full blast. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Spring's best event from Cadillac. But like the beauty of spring, it won't last long. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this exceptional offer.
With Robinson Cano coming up to the plate, let's check out the Delta League leaders. And check this out, April hits since 2009. Cano has 99, and that's the most in the major leagues. Miguel Cabrera and Ryan Braun have 93. So here is Cano, 328 home runs and 21 runs batted in. 1-1 game, bottom of the second inning. Pitch is high.
Dangerous hitter right now, especially the way Litch is going at throwing those cutters in, and that's the pitch that Robbie's really handling right now.
And that one is looped to left field, but it is a foul ball.
You know, Paul, I was just thinking, I don't remember seeing a stretch like this with a couple of games we've seen, but Robinson Cano been pulling a lot of balls lately. Usually he wears out left center and then pulls an off-speed pitch, but right now, right side of the field is friend.
And if you look at the pitches, they're pitches that should be pulled. I mean, on inner half of the plate, it's not like he's going out and hooking the outside pitch. It's for some reason these guys are going at him inside. That's a tough pitch right there. Now that's the perfect cutter you throw to a lefty. That ball ends up off the plate inside. There's a regular grip there, but you see just kind of a little finish at the end that kind of curls that ball inside right under the hands.
The 1-2. Strike three. Cano down looking.
That's the backdoor cutter. He had the cutter working on that at bat.
Not really known as a strikeout pitcher, Litch, but I'll tell you what, you mix that cutter in and backdoor cutter, it's going to work out.
It's time for the Toyota text poll. Today's question, which of these injured players due back soon will have the biggest impact upon returning? You can text us at 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Is it Neftali Feliz? Is it Zach Greinke? Or is it Evan Longoria?
Flash is looking at me like I'm crazy here, Michael. I just dumped the whole chicken thing all over myself, and I'm trying to shout it out while we do the inning here.
Well, at least we finally now have proof. Look, everybody. Exactly. This is how much this guy eats.
And now all
he's wearing
was like my first bite of the day. Now I'm done. If I don't say anything from like the fourth inning on, folks, you know why. I've died of starvation up here.
You know why I feel really bad for him, John? He was just telling us about how much he loved this shirt, and now it's shot. It's over.
You didn't even get a couple of spots up
What's
here.
this
I mean,
thing do? I mean, shout it out. What's that mean anyway? All it does is get you wet.
Well, where'd you get shout?
Now that's a good question. I know Audrey just snapped her fingers and it showed up.
Did you drop the food or did you get to eat it?
I got one bite. Like I said, it'll last me to the fourth inning.
Swisher fouls it back.
Flash will share with me though, right?
Whatever you need.
Yeah. You did order, didn't you?
Some grilled chicken up there for you?
That's all we need.
The 1-2. 2-2.
I'll tell you what, Litch, a guy who came back from Tommy John surgery, and you can see why. Everything he throws, going to use that elbow to cut it in on righties, backdoor cutters, sliders.
Oh, what a play by Litch. And he took a base hit away from Swisher.
You know, the rule of thumb on Tommy John, too, is it's a year. It's 12 months. Well, he came back in like 11 months. And you'll see that he's a good fielder. Wow. But he came back like a month early, and then he ended up hurting his hip. And he had a surgery on his hip. But it didn't help it helped his reflexes right there. Good play. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher just react almost defensively if the ball's right at him. I mean, he reacted and moved a long way to catch that ball.
Here's Posada. Posada won for his last 28. Now, I was talking to Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach today, and he said, I see it coming. He said early on he looked lost. He goes, I wasn't sure. He goes, but the last couple of days I see it coming. There's a ground ball to second base, and Jorge grounds out to second base with a fine line of a 1-2-3 inning here in the second. Kevin's still watching, and we go to the third.
When Ford swaps your ride, you tend to talk about it a lot. You've had the Escape for a week.
I was a Honda guy for a long time. The Escape actually has great gas mileage. I need something fuel efficient. It's very important. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I keep a ton of stuff in my car.
You have the park assist in that, right?
You take your hands off the wheel.
That is crazy. How's that work on your Honda?
What Honda?
Now, current competitive lessees can get a 2011 Escape for just $189 a month for 24 months.
I think we need to try it a little longer, about a year.
Secondhand smoke is bad for kids. Did you know that? I learned it in school. Even in big rooms, the cigarette smoke goes everywhere. And when you breathe it in, you could get asthma. That's the truth. It makes me really scared. Does it make you really scared?
Quit smoking today. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS for help.
What is value? Is it too much of a good thing, or is it something that only the precious few can afford? Hello, precious. But you and I know better. Value means getting all the quality you want at the right price. Whether you upload, download, send, or receive, or just want to call mom to say, hola, you need a network that can deliver real value.
And that network is Verizon. Get mom a new Samsung Fascinate for $99.99 and unlimited data for only $29.99 on America's largest high-speed wireless network.
Es tu mamá. She deserves it.
It's a spacious cabin with tailored styling. It's an available ELS surround premium audio system and voice-activated navigation with up-to-the-minute traffic and weather. It's the newly refined Acura TL. And it's the official vehicle of the movie Thor.
One game on the Lincoln scoreboard. That gentleman right there is John Davidson, former Ranger, now the St. Louis Blues GM, and returns home to watch a Yankee game. Good friend of the Yankee trainer, Steve Donahue. So welcome back to John Davidson. Top of the third inning, in the top of the order, Rajai Davis against Ivan Nova. And the pitch. Shows bunt, takes a pitch inside. Now we're going to have a chance. To talk with our very own Jack Curry. He's down in the third base camera. Well, what's up, Jack?
Hey, Michael, how are you?
All well up here, and obviously beautiful weather down there. Now, I know that you got to the ballpark early today, and you talked to Derek Jeter about what some perceive to be struggles. Does he believe he's struggling?
No, Jeter, as you know, Michael, he's a guy who has as much confidence when he goes out there as anybody on the Yankees, despite what his average might be. So he's hitting .250 right now, and I started to talk to him about that. And what I found interesting is here's a guy who has 2,949 career hits. And I bet you if I asked him that, he wouldn't know that. But one thing that he said, and I'd love to get Paul and John's take on this, I said, you're a .314 career hitter. And he said, yes. Coming into today, he's 23 for 92. And he said to me, so if I go 4 for 4 in my next 2 days, I'm back to my career average. And he's right. He'd be at 310. But what surprised me is that Jeter knew that.
Would you guys know that?
The mathematician, you can figure out where you should be. I think that everybody's looking at his hitting and things. It's kind of the way he's hitting. You know, he's not driving the ball yet, but I do agree that a good week or so, this all goes away for a while.
But, you know, the one thing that I did pay attention to is that first 100 at-bats. You know, and you know that if you get an extra hit or two, I mean, it's 20 points right there.
Sure.
You're hitting 250 instead of 270.
That foul ball got Laz Diaz, so quickly out of the dugout is Gene Monahan, tending to the home plate umpire. I'm always intrigued when you ask Derek about bad stuff. Does he want to talk about it, Jack?
No, you know that. He doesn't want to talk about anything but what's going on the field with the team. Derek doesn't like talking about himself. We know when he has an injury, he gives very short answers. He doesn't want to tell guys how he's injured, as we, of course, are dealing with an injury on the field right now. And Paul talked about a mathematician. I just failed that test. It actually would be 320 if he had the chance to go 4 for 4 in his 2 games, but that didn't happen. No, Michael, I think that Derek doesn't want the focus to be on him. I asked him about his stride and his swing, and he said he was done tinkering. He said he likes the way he feels right now. He's comfortable with what he's doing. And he said as a guy who comes to the ballpark every day, he needs to focus on what is happening on that day. He said he can't look a week back. He can't look a week ahead. Whether that week has been tremendous or that week has been disappointing, he's trying to focus on the 3, 4, 5 at-bats that he's going to get on a daily basis.
Is that the right approach, John?
Well, it's the right approach, but I was just thinking in my head, I could never do that. I would always think about my 10 or 15 at-bats beforehand, whether they were I'm hot or I'm struggling. I always knew it when I walked into the box.
Yeah, I took batting practice much more serious than most people, because I always thought, you know, if I felt great in batting practice, then I was going to feel great in the game. And it wasn't always the case, but I've noticed that over the years with Jeet too. You know, he really bears down in batting practice and things like that. But, you know, he's having to fight these things mentally with tinkering with his swing, and I agree with him 100% now of just going up, concentrating, having 4 or 5 good at-bats every single day, and then you're going to show what kind of hitter you are.
So it looks like Laz Diaz is okay. He waves everybody away, just needed some time to collect himself. And the count is 3-2 on Rajai Davis. Obviously, Ivan Nova wants to keep Davis off the bases because he's a pest once he gets on. So the Yankee right-hander deals, and he's going to be on. So Rajai Davis works a leadoff walk, and that's going to lead us to Francisco Cervelli trying to gun him down. Now, Cervelli back behind the plate today. First game as a Yankee, Jack. He's probably busting out of his shoes right now, just happy to be in there.
And this is a perfect segue, Michael, because in talking to him this morning about catching and about facing the Jays, he said they're a different team to be behind the plate to try and stop. He actually said he needs 4 eyes. He said, forget 2 eyes. I need an extra set of eyes to watch these guys on the bases. They set a club record with 30 stolen bases in April, but Cervelli said he would be ready. And one interesting point about Cervelli, guys, you know how excitable he is behind the plate? He brings a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, pumps his fist a lot. He told me before the game that he plans to have the same amount of energy and plan to bring that energy to his pitcher. But he said as far as the emotion goes, he was going to tame that a little bit. Sometimes he said you have to make some changes.
Here's Yunel Escobar. Now, it's interesting you said that, Jack, because I had heard from players around the league they didn't like it. They thought that he did it too much, especially for a kid that's just a kid and hadn't accomplished that much. I wonder if somebody got to him and said, okay, enough is enough.
Well, he didn't elaborate, Michael, but I think you're right. You're putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm sure there was probably somebody who told him, don't let your histrionics take away from being a very good defensive catcher and a guy who brings a lot of energy. He initially told me that in spring training that he was going to do that, and then he elaborated on it again today in saying this is the difference that you will see in me behind the plate today. And guys, he goes back with Nova to the minor leagues. He caught 6 of his 7 starts last year. So that's one of the reasons Girardi has him in this weekend, trying to guide Nova against this Jays lineup.
All right, finally, Jack, you broke some news on Twitter earlier today about Kevin Millwood.
Right. Kevin Millwood had an out in his minor league contract. He had the ability to opt out today. The Yankees told Kevin Millwood, based on what they had seen at the minor league level, they didn't believe he should be added to their 25-man roster. Kevin Millwood, in their eyes, wasn't going to give them anything more than any of the pitchers they had here. In his last outing, guys, 2 innings, 6 runs at the AAA level. His fastball has been around the 85, 86-mile mark. Once the Yankees said they weren't going to add him, Millwood opted out. He's a free agent now, and he goes looking for a job again.
Runner goes, pitch out, throw is high, throw to second. Not in time. That was a bad pitch out by Ivan Nova. Not much that Cervelli could do.
Well, a great play by Cervelli just to catch this ball, and they say on a pitch out you anticipate a bad pitch out, and Cervelli must have done that because a great play just to catch it. Surprised he tried to regroup and make a throw because it looked like a lot of bad things could have happened right there.
It did. I like a short hop, and still actually was kind of close, but again, I don't think you do expect a pitch out up there.
So the Yankees guessing along with the Blue Jays, and they had the pitch out when he was going. The 2-1 to Escobar, breaking ball but a strike. And finally, Jack, is there going to be any sniffs on Millwood, or is the rest of baseball going to shy away because he didn't do so well in the Yankee system?
Well, Michael, not only did he not do very well with the Yankees, this is a guy who didn't sign until late in spring training. So he was out there for teams to sign. He wanted a major league deal. The Yankees eventually signed him to a minor league deal. So I know teams always need pitching, but I wonder what has changed between about a month or 6 weeks ago from then to now that someone is suddenly going to say, yeah, Kevin Millwood is the guy we need to come in and be a factor for us.
Good stuff, Jack. We'll talk to you a little later on.
Take care, guys.
All right, Jack Curry on our post game a little bit later on yes. 2-2 on Escobar, and Nova deals. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball for the first out.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to go to this breaking ball maybe a little bit more because the fastball has been up all afternoon. A couple of nice curveballs back to back. It's up a strikeout.
I remember last year talking about Kevin Millwood. I mean, last year in the middle of the year, I mean, he was like the gem out there. Everybody was interested in the big money. We could still get him, and that's why you just can't rush out as a general manager and just every time you think you need a pitcher is grab somebody. Then you would have been stuck, with another contract for 2 or 3 years with a guy that, you don't even want to bring up from AAA right now.
The Yankees still have another veteran down there that they're trying to see if he can help them up here, and that's Carlos Silva, who they picked up after the Cubs let him go. So Millwood has opted out today. Davis really distracts the pitcher. We've seen that this entire series.
But again, I mean, Bautista has been in this position a lot this series with that first base open, wondering if I am going to get a pitch to hit, and it starts wearing on your mind as a hitter when you get up in these positions. Are they going to give me anything hitting? You almost become a little lackadaisical at the plate.
This is one of those combinations I look out at this field and say I don't see too many good things happening here. I mean, Nova's concerned with Davis, and rightfully so, but the man at the plate is one of the hottest hitters in baseball, who hit a home run off of Nova last year. See that, first player in Major League history with at least 30 hits, 9 home runs, and 28 walks during the month of April. So if you're Von Nova, you might want to pay a little bit more attention to Bautista at the plate.
Does that stat seem as shocking to you as it does to me? That's the first and only player to do that in the big league history? That's unbelievable.
I'm trying to figure out which
is tougher.
What separates it. I think it's got to be the walks.
If you have 9 home runs, you're probably going to get a lot of walks if you have 9 home runs in the month of April.
Yeah, but he's hitting, 360 something too.
Yeah.
But to be able to have that many hits, that many home runs, and that many walks, it's got to be the walks.
One game. Home run by Lind, a home run by Teixeira. That's where we stand, top of the third. Good breaking ball. He feels pretty good about his breaking ball today.
Yeah, I think Cervelli and Nova should go to it a little bit more. Fastball has been kind of lost, but the curveball is starting to show up. Ride it out for a few innings, see if that fastball will come back later on with the location.
Runner goes. Like Cervelli might have been crossed up, so Davis will reach third with a stolen base.
But again, I mean, either they're seeing something and they're really good at guessing because they're running on breaking balls. That ball down in the dirt. Cervelli does a good job just to block it.
I'll tell you what, if he doesn't block it, then you start thinking about Davis, thinking about coming around third base and scoring. So a nice play by Cervelli, just keeping it in front.
Ground ball is short. That's going to get a run in. And it does. So Bautista picks up his 16th ribby. And the Blue Jays now lead 2-1. So Rajay Davis made that run happen.
He's really done a lot offensively for this team since this series started. It just absolutely, when he gets on, he steals bases, he's scoring runs, and we talked that he's been out most of the season, so he really adds a lot to this offense.
Along with Paul O'Neill, John Flaherty, and Jack Curry, I'm Michael Kay. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Yankees trailing the Blue Jays 2-1, top of the third inning. Ground ball right side and through, so a base hit for Adam Lind.
Well, they're really seeing what they want to see in Adam Lind. We talked about it the first couple games. He came off of a hot Texas series, hit 3 consecutive home runs in 3 days, and now he's starting to continually come out day after day, get his hits. You're going to have to pitch more to Bautista, and that's only going to help the Blue Jays score runs.
Here's Juan Rivera. He walked in the second inning. Good fastball, swung and missed. Ground ball is short. Jeter with a tough hop goes the short way, and that will do it. But the Blue Jays get a run on 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-1 Jays.
The New York Yankees are great moments.
Swung on and line to left field. Down the line, it is gone. It's a walk-off by Mark Teixeira.
Yankee fans, bring a group of 20 or more people to Yankee Stadium for a group outing and take advantage of a variety of group savings. Group spaces like the Malibu Rooftop Deck, Turkey Hill Ice Cream Picnic Area, and Budweiser Hall of Fame Lounge will allow groups of all sizes to enjoy Yankee Stadium like never before. For information, call 212-YANKEES or visit yankees.com/groups.
The sounds of spring. It's a symphony best appreciated at full blast. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Spring's best event from Cadillac. But like the beauty of spring, it won't last long. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this exceptional offer.
The official ice cream of the New York Yankees could be your ticket to the game. Every carton of delicious Turkey Hill Bronx Bomber Sundae and Pinstripe Brownie Blast is a chance to win Yankees tickets.
Brain freeze. Ring in the closer.
So get into the game with Turkey Hill, official ice cream of the New York Yankees.
The Yankees hit the road for a 4-game set with the Tigers in the Motor City. Tomorrow, Mark Teixeira, Miguel Cabrera, 2 of the game's premier first basemen square off at Comerica. Can Teixeira's big bat silence the Tigers' roar? Yankees, Tigers. Coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame, only on Yes.
Well, let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Yankees go on the road, and they will have 4 games against Detroit. That'll be Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty and Kimberly Jones. And then in Texas, the Yankees head there for 3 games before coming back for another homestand. So that is our upcoming schedule. All the games on the road trip will be on Yes. Brett Gardner will dig in. 5 hits in his last 12 at bats. Seems a little more sure of himself at the plate, seeing the ball better, drawing walks. Yankees now trail by 1, 2-1 on the Lincoln scoreboard. And the pitch. It's high. 1-0. Litch high again, the count 2-0.
Pay attention here if some of the Yankee hitters go up there maybe sitting on that cutter inside. Brett Gardner sat on that bench and watched some of the Yankees swing and miss at the cutter.
Well, coming into this game, lefties have been very successful against him. 19 for 53, that's 358 as the count goes to 3-0 on Gardner. And righties have struggled, hitting 150. And usually the cutter with a right-handed pitcher, Mariano has always been death on left-handers. And he had almost developed that two-seamer so righties couldn't just reach across the plate. But Litch seems to be having trouble despite having the cutter against the lefty batters. Here's the 3-0. And he just couldn't come near the plate on that one. That's a guy he did not want to walk, Brett Gardner. Now Gardner has now been on base in 9 of his last 12 plate appearances. Here's Francisco Cervelli, his first big league at bat. And in spring training against the Astros, he fouled the ball off of his foot, broke the foot, and he was in pain. Gene Monahan was there, Joe Girardi was there, and he knew right away something was up. And had him in a walking boot. And he ended up having 6 rehab games, and he was 5 for 23 in those rehab games. They were more concerned with getting him ready to catch games than getting his bat ready. There's a bunt and a nice scoop by Lynn as Gardner moves to second.
Yeah, I was interested to see how that at bat was going to play out. I mean, his first at bat in the big leagues this year with Gardner on first. You could have hit and ran maybe, but a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt. Litch, who we mentioned early on, pretty athletic, and a good scoop by Lind.
Let me throw this at you guys. Aren't you almost wasting a sac bunt when you've got Gardner on first?
Yeah,
Don't you want him to steal second?
I'm thinking let him steal and then use the bunt to get him to third. You know, it can work each way. And a lot of times now, this day and age, guys will even bunt on their own. You don't even know if he was given the sacrifice. I mean, he might just be comfortable moving him over, and he did the job.
He had 8 sac bunts last year, so his first one this season. Here's Derek Jeter.
Good time for Jeet to drag bunt. Encarnacion way back at third.
And it clips Jeter on the way by.
Paul, I don't know what you think, but, you know, through the years watching Derek, it almost seems like in situations like that, if he's not feeling 100%, he might try to lay down to bunt. See, this fastball is just going to clip a little bit of the shirt, it looked like.
Let's see if we can hear it go by. I think he got him on his elbow pad. So first and second for the Yankees. And here's Granderson.
That ball right there, it had the little cut action, but out over the plate. And again, that's the dangerous pitch as a pitcher. Those balls spin out over the plate. They stay in that strike zone a long time, Flash. You probably, as a catcher, want to go out and grab them before they hit them.
Call timeout.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
Ground ball, base hit to right field. Good on for Bautista, and they're going to hold up Gardner.
Wow.
One of the things about Yankee Stadium is right field is short. I mean, Robbie Thompson has to know that. Gardner off with the crack of the bat, but the ball was hit fairly hard. Bautista, great arm, a lot of assists last year, so holding him from the get-go.
Well, you also got Mark Teixeira coming up, who homered his first at bat. I'm sure Robbie Thompson thinking about that with Alex Rodriguez following, who's been struggling a little bit lately.
Fourth player in Major League history with 54 more home runs and 12 outfield assists. The other one's Babe Ruth, Ralph Kiner, and Sammy Sosa. That was last year. And those 12 assists, obviously what Robbie Thompson was thinking about. Bautista has a great arm out there. So here's Teixeira with the bases loaded. And a strike. This year with runners in scoring position, Teixeira 357, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in. Gardner is at third, Jeter's at second, Granderson is at first. Good speed on the bases. That one is grounded to second base. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. McDonald to Escobar to Lin. And that is exactly what Jesse Litz needed. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 3 at the stadium. Toronto leads 2-1.
And right now, lease the Sorrento for $239 a month.
It was definitely going to be a quest.
I wanted to find the cafe in Barcelona where my parents first met and get a picture of us there. But it was a terrible photo.
Your Second Shot is a project by Canon to recapture lost moments.
It's going to be just awesome to go back and actually get the photo. That's it.
With the HS system, a technology that takes sharper images in low light without the flash.
Hey!
Visit 17th Street Photo, New York City's newest Canon Superstore, 33 West 17th Street.
Are you a victim of the current bedbug epidemic? Stop itching and solve your problem by calling Bell Environmental, the bedbug specialists. We're skilled in the latest and most effective methods of treating bedbugs. We use instant freeze technology, pesticide-free, completely safe, and perfect for use in office environments and other sensitive areas. Our bedbug dog, Roscoe, sniffs out bedbugs and their eggs with accuracy. Call Bell Environmental or visit bellbedbugs.com. Bell Environmental, over 30 years of green.
Breaking ball. Hit in the air. To deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone.
With DirecTV, your favorite team is never far away, even if you are. Because no distance is too great between you and your team. With MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Every team, every player, no matter where you live. It's the most baseball in HD.
A-bomb from A-Rod.
Make every game a home game with MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV. Order today.
Well, it's time for the GE Capital Partner Play. Great partnerships are built on trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day.
Well, John McDonald going to his right does a nice job getting there, but flips out of his glove, doesn't use his hand, and it's accurate to Escobar, and they complete the double play. Kind of a gutsy play here, but it works out for the Blue Jays, your partner play.
Here's JP Arancibia. There's a strike. We told you he went to the same high school as Alex Rodriguez, Westminster Christian in Miami. And he actually tied Alex for the all-time school record, 17 home runs. It's a hot shot to Jeter. Stays with a tough hop. And there's one away. It's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Let's see what we have. Before Robinson Cano in 09 and 10, who was the last second baseman in Major League Baseball to have back-to-back 200-hit seasons?
Think about that one.
It's one of those ones that a name pops in my head right away. I think I'm 100% right, and then I'm never right.
Will you tell us that name in the bottom of the fourth?
I will. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Here's David Cooper. He picked up his first big league hit in the second. And there's a strike.
That was any second baseman. It wasn't a Yankee second baseman.
Any second baseman. Pop foul.
Well, the second inning, he's been waiting the whole weekend for it, and he gets jammed right over the head of Robinson Cano in front of Nick Swisher. The family excited.
And now he has 2 hits.
Now it's easy, Paul.
Uh-huh.
Hit 395 at AAA. That's why they called him up. And now the family's a little looser, a little happier.
It's funny. I didn't even know those 3 had teeth. They didn't smile the first 2 days. Now they're all smiles. Still fun to see. I don't care how long you play or whatever, you always look back and you know how exciting it is when you start your major league career.
That trio flew from Sacramento when they found out that David Cooper had been called up. Took the red eye and was here on time. There's a ground ball to third. Alex looks at second, fires to first, and gets Edwin Encarnacion for the out. Cooper advances to second. And you can see on that one, Alex looked at second, and standing at second was Robinson Cano pointing at first. Took a quick look, and then Cano had given him the directions, fire, and he did. Here's John McDonald. Grew up a huge Yankee fan in Connecticut. But he said, now I try to beat him. Count 0-1.
He's a nice player to have on your ball club. I mean, known as a defensive specialist, but his offensive game has gotten better the last couple of years. I remember I totally jinxed the Yankees, said I'll just go right at this guy. He has no power. Next pitch ends up in the seats in the Rogers Center. I'm not known as a guy who's going to hit a lot of home runs.
He had a good game yesterday, and we talked about he's getting this time out on the field because Aaron Hill's still injured, but you know, he made some good defensive plays, done some good things this weekend.
Blue Jays have struggled all weekend with runners in scoring position. Just 1 hit and 20 chances. 0 for 4 today. And now 0 for 5 as McDonald grounds out to A-Rod, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Toronto.
If you go out of your way to fly with an airline, does that airline go out of its way to reward you? It should, because loyalty is a two-way street. And when one side gives, the other has to give back. Dedicated Redcoat customer service, more first-class upgrades, miles that don't expire. This isn't benevolence. This is our business. And the next time an airline asks for yours, ask them first what they've done to deserve it.
Get a great looking lawn like this, but trying to grow grass from seed in tough areas like deep shade, along the driveway, and where the kids play can be a little intimidating. Until now, with Scott's Easy Seed. It's Scott's best grass seed, starter fertilizer, and a growing material that absorbs water and expands to surround and protect the seeds. You'll get a thick, green Scott's lawn even if you've never been successful with other seed before. The revolutionary Scott's Easy Seed. Grow grass anywhere.
How can you be sure the car you're getting is the best? Well, when people vote with their own money, more of them choose Toyota than any other brand. Confidence, only better. And right now, you can lease a fuel-efficient new Toyota RAV4 for just $199 a month, or lease a versatile new 2011 Highlander for just $289 a month. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota.
I thought if you had an older home, there was no way you could reduce your energy costs.
Boy, was I wrong.
We had our house performance tested by a contractor certified by the Building Performance Institute.
We found a host of problems that could be corrected.
They showed us what it would cost
and how much we'd save this year.
And for years to come. We've reduced our energy use 45 to 50%.
And it's good for the environment.
How can you beat that?
For more true stories of how New Yorkers are saving energy, log on to getenergysmart.org.
All right, time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz answer. And both my guys think they have it. Cano in 09 and 10. Before him, who was the last second baseman, Major League Baseball have back-to-back 200-hit seasons. What was the one that came into your mind, John?
I thought Baerga right away.
Yep.
What do you think?
See that?
Wow.
We agreed on something up here, Flash, and we were right, huh?
It only took 3 days.
A-Rod will lead off against Jesse Litz. Yankees trail by 1. A-Rod struck out in the first inning. 2-4-0, leading 1-2-0. And a
kind of surprised it wasn't Alomar too, right?
That's how I thought about Baerga, because I was trying to think of all the really good second basemen, and obviously with Toronto in town, Alomar comes to mind. Then you know, Alomar ended up in Cleveland, and then Baerga, I mean, I remember the big numbers he had there for a while.
Kind of watching this at bat for Alex Rodriguez. Kind of been scuffling a little bit lately, and maybe Litch throwing all those sliders and cutters, get him back out over the plate, hit the ball the other way. Usually a good hitter's count here, 3-1, where you're going to get a fastball, but we haven't seen that from Litch this afternoon. A lot of cutters in this count.
High pop-up, left field. Rivera puts it away for the first out.
He didn't go with the cutter. I think it was a fastball.
That's a fastball, but his fastball almost kind of runs back in. Just didn't quite get it on the barrel. You saw he pulled his hands in to try to get the barrel of the bat on it, and just not quick enough. Good pitch.
Fouled away. Now Roberto Alomar is going to the Hall of Fame, and he has never had, we just looked it up, never had a 200 hit season.
Yeah, that's surprising. Yeah. Especially you know, he's a switch hitter. He played every single day. Hit 330, 340 a couple years.
Count 1-1. Litch in 6 starts lifetime against the Yankees, 1-4, 5.72.
Mentioned in the G pitcher scouting report, he usually gets better as the game goes on. He's been pretty solid from the beginning here to the 4th inning.
Ground ball fair. Past Lynn, and it kicks off to the right fielder Bautista, and he spins and fires to second, holding Cano to a single.
I'll tell you what, the more you watch Bautista play, the more you're impressed with just he's a baseball player that has become a great hitter. But again, I'm talking about great hitters. Robbie Cano rips one down the line. But again, he gets into position, doesn't even look at the runner, reverse pivots, just get rid of the ball. A lot of times as a fielder, you run over to get to the ball, you pick it up, you check where the runner is, runner makes eye contact with, before you know it, you've given him a couple steps, he might challenge you. As a fielder, get rid of the ball as quick as you can. A lot of times they won't even run on you.
Swisher takes high. The 1-0. Grounded to Lynn. He goes to second, one. On to first with Litch covering. They got him. Turn a 3-6-1 double play. So 2 straight innings. The Yankees have ended the inning with a double play. Nice play by Lynn. Escobar waited for Litch to get there and doubled him up.
Blimpie has been a part of America's tradition for over 40 years. Our subs are made with fresh baked breads, quality meats and cheeses sliced to order. Taste the difference freshness makes. Blimpie, America's sub shop.
This felt like the smartest car.
When Ford swaps your ride, you tend to talk about it. Mallory, you were driving a what?
Honda Accord.
And now you're in a?
Ford Fusion. My gas mileage was awesome because I'm always in the car and I'm driving everywhere.
Mallory, bit of a hugger.
I really like finding things along my route. Find shoe stores.
Destination shoe store.
You guys must be fun to ride around with.
Now, current competitive lessees can get a 2011 Fusion for $159 a month for 24 months. Just $159.
We're going shoe shopping today.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
course not. We broke up 6 months ago. But I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, Steven. Can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
The next station is Penn Station.
Don't assume it was left by accident. If you see something, say something.
Nancy Newman in our Yes Studios with your Audi update. Let's take you to Cleveland. The Tigers and the Indians going at it. Bottom two, 2 on, 2 out. Matt Laporta deep to right off Phil Koch. That is over the head of Don Kelly and off the wall. Orlando Cabrera, last night's walk-off hero, and Michael Brantley score on the 2-run double. Tigers lost 5 in a row. Indians 12-2 at home. Guys.
Well, thank you, Nancy. And speaking of the Tigers, tomorrow starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead. Bartolo Colon will take the mound again, this time against hard-throwing Justin Verlander. 2 good pitchers, 2 hard throwers. Our coverage begins at 6:30 right here on Yes. Pitch to Rajay Davis is inside 1-0, so the 5th inning begins. The Acela scoreboard, 2-4-0, leading 1-3-0. Line drive down the left field line. It's a base hit. Gardner fields. Davis makes a big turn, but he'll stop right there. Gardner makes a strong throw to Cano.
Nice play by Brett Gardner here. This is a fastball in, back-to-back fastballs inside. Davis was ready. Right away you're thinking this is going to be a double, but Brett Gardner does a nice job getting to it quickly, and like you mentioned before, Paul, getting rid of a throw quickly, stopping Davis to a single.
Michael, you were talking about the pitching matchup for tomorrow, and you ended it with 2 hard throwers, and it's funny to me because during camp when you were talking about Colon and Garcia trying to be veterans and fill in some spots, you didn't think of him as that hard thrower back from the early 90s, but I mean his last couple games out there, he's back to pumping that fastball in the mid-90s.
Threw a couple of 97, and it moves too.
Yeah, it's not straight anymore.
Well, Davis has been on base 10 times this year. He scored 7, so he wreaks havoc on the bases.
Yeah, we talked about it all weekend. He usually doesn't wait around. Runs early in the count. Cervelli knows he's going. Tony Pena, the bench coach, probably giving signs to hold the running game. He knows he's going at some point. A lot of pressure on defense.
Bunted toward first base, but is going to roll foul.
Again, that's I mean Davis has been so successful. You hate to give up an out there, and looking back at yesterday, A.J. Burnett picking him off first base, probably one of the bigger plays in the game. It really doesn't show up in the box scores, but he had just given up a home run, and then all of a sudden could have become a big inning, and next thing you know he picks him off, and that inning went on with nothing. A little shot of adrenaline as a catcher when you know a guy's going to try to steal on you.
Well, you know what? It reminds me that when you're throwing good, you're ready for it. You feel your arm feels good, your mechanics are right. It's just like hitting when you're going bad. You're like, oh no,
really?
He's out there again. I know he's running. I'm not throwing well.
I never thought of that. That's funny.
Sure.
A little throwing slump back there.
Of course. And Cervelli had his problems last year throwing runners out, a little erratic.
6 attempts. He's been successful 5 so far this year. There he goes. Pitches high. Throw to second. Got him. Great tag by Cano.
Well, Jack Curry said that Francisco Cervelli maybe is going to tone it down a little bit with the mannerisms, and he was excited but didn't show a whole lot of it there. Good pitch to throw on up in the zone. The throw is low, it bounces, but a great tag by Robinson Cano to get the job done.
It's not as easy as it looked to go ahead and pick that ball out of the dirt, then make a tag.
Escobar grounds it to third. It's a foul ball. Wally Bell promptly put his hands up, signaling foul, but it's behind A-Rod, so he continued with the throw.
Yeah, you look at Davis here, and he looks back, which flashed to me sometimes. I mean, most of the time, that's a hit and run. And, or, you know, I got a terrible jump. Please help me out. But, you know, a lot of base stealers never look in. They're just staring and got that base. But to me, when Davis looks back at the plate to see if it's put in play, it might have been a hit and run.
Strike three. Escobar down looking. All right, Nancy Newman, let's check it out. She has another update for us. What's up, Nance?
Thanks, Michael. Red Sox 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position yesterday as the M's won their 5th in a row on the road. Today, David Ortiz gets them going. It's a 2-run double. 2-zip for the Red Sox. Keep and watch. Back to you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Nancy. 2-1 here, top of the 5th inning. Blue Jays lead. 2 outs, nobody on. And that's the situation Juan Bautista up with. Count 1-0.
Looking forward to this matchup this afternoon. I mean, Bautista hit a home run off of Nova last year, and if you remember, the next at bat, a pitch was up and in. Kind of showed me something about Nova. He wasn't afraid to throw inside. Bautista hit a hard line drive his first at bat that Curtis Granderson made a nice play on. Hitters count here 2-0.
To the curveball, and it's funny because you look at yesterday where Soriano in the 8th inning, you know, big time of the game, went out all fastballs, got him out, kind of got in on him in the fastball. Last time up, men in scoring position, Nova got him out with a fastball also.
They didn't want to give Bautista anything to drive, so they walk him.
Well, this was last year, August 23rd in Toronto. Bautista, no doubt about this one. Next at bat, Nova shows a little something. Not afraid to go up and in. Warnings. Bautista had his revenge later on against David Robertson, and a little stare out to the mound. An interesting night in Toronto. Kind of got my attention that second at bat, though, Paul. You know, for a young kid coming up and throws that fastball in.
Pitch to Adam Lind is a strike. Lind's 2 for 2, a home run and a single to right. Big cut. And the count 0-2. Long look by Nova. Swing and a miss. Got him. So he strikes out Lind to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors. One man left. This ball broke down and in. Swinging over the top was Lind, and we're halfway through.
Technology you've never seen before, anywhere, ever. Which raises a good point. If you're going to buy a new luxury car, shouldn't there be something new about it?
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
What is value?
Is it too much of a good thing, or is it something that only the precious few can afford? Hello, precious. But you and I know better. Value means getting all the quality you want at the right price. Whether you upload, download, send, or receive, or just want to call mom to say, hola, you need a network that can deliver real value.
And that network is Verizon. Get mom a new Samsung Fascinate for $99.99 and unlimited data for only $29.99 on America's largest high-speed wireless network.
Es tu mamá. She deserves it.
If you go out of your way to fly with an airline, does that airline go out of its way to reward you? It should. Because loyalty is a two-way street. And when one side gives, the other has to give back. Dedicated Redcoat customer service. More first-class upgrades. Miles that don't expire. This isn't benevolence. This is our business. And the next time an airline asks for yours, ask them first what they've done to deserve it.
Today, on an all-new WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show. Number 28 takes a look back at April, including some of the best plays and moments from the first month of the season. Plus, get a preview of the upcoming road trip with a visit to Detroit and an outing in Texas. It's an all-new Joe Girardi Show. Today after the postgame, only on Yes.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, by Acura Advance, and by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of the New York Yankees. On the Acela scoreboard, it's 2-1 Blue Jays over the Yanks as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. And Jorge Posada digs in. They are really shifting on Posada. The shortstop almost standing behind second base. Posada grounded to second in the second. He's 1 for his last 29.
They're giving you but do you take this? I mean, you're hitting 123 just to get one on the board, Paul.
If you could guarantee yourself that it's going to work, absolutely you'd take it. But if you're not accustomed to doing it, and you make a bad bunt and then you're 0 for 2, not even knowing how you would have. Oh my goodness. That's how you think, though, when you're, what was it, 1 for 20?
1 for 29.
9.
There's a base hit, and it's going to go into the corner. Posada rounds first. Is he going for 2? Yes, he is. Here's the throw from Bautista. A double for Posada. He hit it through the shift.
Ball was hit well, and he made a decision. He was going for 2. Good throw, probably had him, but you know what? To assume that it's always going to be a good throw. See, the pitch just creeps inside, right out over the plate, though. Georgie turns on it. You can only put so many people on that right side, and they can't catch line drives. All right, Michael, you hear so much concern over Posada and his hitting, and Derek Jeter for that matter. Gardner's down a little bit. Swisher's down offensively. You know, the overall picture of this year, who are you worried about the most as a fan? Because you kind of look at it as a fan.
Who am I worried about the most? Who do I don't know? I'm not sure he's going to turn it around.
Yeah, that would affect this team's success this year the most.
I think Jeter's going to hit enough that he will not affect the team's success. And I think that Gardner's on his way up. I think there's a lot of problems inherent if Jorge doesn't hit. I mean, do you have to sit down a veteran and put Chavez as a DH? That's the guy I would worry about the most, that he needs to turn it around.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you've got to throw it into play that Jorge's he's in a completely different position now and going into that DH thing. And so far that, it's been tough for him, but, it's good to see him hit a line drive right there.
Is that your answer too?
I would think so. I agree with Jeter 100%. I think that Gardner can do so many things with his speed. I think that he'll get enough hits. I think Swisher, his last couple years, he's put a track record together. But again, they're all in the situations they were before where Georgie's not in this DH role.
How about you, John?
But, my thought is always to Swisher. I mean, he had such a great year hitting in that 2-hole. I think for him moving down in the lineup now, and I hate to say he's on his own, but, he's going to see a lot more breaking balls this year and see if he can repeat what he did last year.
3-1 to Gardner.
And look at this situation here. Brett Gardner probably trying to hit a ball to the right side to get Jorge Posada to third, but Adam Lynn kind of playing in close to the grass. A ground ball to him not a guarantee Jorge Posada is going to get to third base. See how it plays out. Encarnacion in on the grass.
Line drive, a base hit to right field. Bautista comes up throwing. They hold Posada, and the Yankees are set up. First and third, and nobody out.
Well, a couple good hits from guys that have just come into our conversation this inning about struggling a little bit, but Brett Gardner turns on one.
Did a nice job getting in a hitter's count and getting deep into the count. That's what we saw from Brett last year, early on this year, kind of getting behind in the count early. Some defensive at bats, and now Francisco Cervelli finds himself in a pretty good situation to hit. First and third, nobody out.
Well, the Yankees want to stay away from the double play. It's hurt them in the previous 2 innings. Ended the third and ended the fourth. Now, what does Cervelli do at the plate? Does he bunt Gardner over to second, or does he just swing away? They're playing for the double play. Yankees are down by 1. The old fake to third and fake to first, made famous by Jeff Nelson.
So, Michael, you're saying to lay down a bunt to keep Gardner, or keep him out of the double play, the possibility?
I was just wondering if you would do that.
It's interesting. You know, we've seen a lot of, what were they, the safety squeeze bunts this year in baseball. That's an option here, although Posada doesn't run all that well.
There's a ground ball into the hole at short. They're going to make one out. That's going to be at first. Scoring, Posada, RBI ground out by Cervelli, and it's a 2-2 game.
Tell you what, that looks like just a 6-3 in the paper, but that's a good play.
Going to his right, and Escobar guy Brian Butterfield, the infield instructor for the Blue Jays, talking about the possibility of a Gold Glove, and you can see why. Getting to the ball and then showing plenty of arm strength across the diamond. Impressive play.
All right, so Gardner is now at second, and here's Jeter. Jeter grounded to short, and he was hit by a pitch. 2-2 game, bottom of the 5th.
And again, this would be a great time for Gardner to try to get on to, a stolen base. Gives it an easier at bat for Jeter just to try to get him in. That's how you try to help guys get through times. I mean, it's ideal situation to hit with a 1 out, man on third. So many good things can happen. You feel good about yourself just hitting a sacrifice fly.
Pitch is low. So a double by Posada, a single by Gardner, a ground out by Cervelli, and the Yankees have tied the game, and they're looking for more here in the bottom of the 5th. Each team with 5 hits, each team with 2 runs. Talking with Kevin Long about Jeter, and they were talking together, and Jeter said, I feel a lot better with 2 strikes. And Kevin said, well, what are you doing with 2 strikes? He said, well, I'm spreading out a little bit more. So Kevin said, then just spread out when you get to the plate. He goes, and I think that that's what he feels most comfortable. He said, you're going to see him start to hit a lot better as well. He said, because if you're spread out that much, you're not going to be able to really stride that much.
Yeah, the less your stride is, the more your head moves, the more your body moves, the more time you have to pick up the baseball. And, the guys that have those big, long strides, they do have power, but it is tough to hit that way.
Tough pitch here. 2-0, a little slider down and away. You get a look at really no stride, and Derek didn't look real pleased with this call.
That's a tough one to hit right there.
The 2-1 inside, 3-1. Hot shot to short. They're going to go to third, and they will not get Gardner. You wonder what Escobar's thinking there. You take the out at first, runners at third with 2 outs. So he tries to make a tough play, and now he's got Litch in a bigger jam.
Well, again, I mean, this play is made for one thing, and that's Brett Gardner's speed. 9 out of 10 guys he'll throw out easily here, but I do agree with you, Michael. I think you just take the ground out, get the out at first, let your pitcher get an opportunity to get himself out of the inning.
Now, John, did Gardner make a mistake trying to go to third with the ball hit in front of him?
Well, I mean, simple base running. If the ball is hit to your right, if you're taking your lead off of second base, you're not supposed to go to third. But there's a difference when you run like Brett Gardner. You can force the issue. And a good throw probably gets him. But, Paul, like you mentioned before, you can't just assume that every throw is going to be a good one.
Yeah, this throw is on the, the left side of the bag. Gardner made a good slide to the inside part of the bag. Encarnacion was not able to get the ball over there quick enough.
So Jeter reaches on the fielder's choice, and now here's Granderson. Now let's check this out with the Coors Light freeze cam. And freeze it right there. You can see the hands there before the glove touches the shoulder.
It's the old saying, you give good teams extra outs, usually comes back to bite you. We'll see what happens here in the 5th.
Granderson put on a power display during batting practice. Yankees had optional batting practice today at 10:30, and it seemed like most of them were out there. But Gardner was putting a lot in the seats, or should I say Granderson. Yankees are 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position today.
This whole series seems like it's breaking down to both teams really not able to have that huge inning. Many opportunities to score runs and not really able to throw the inning up of 4 or 5 runs and getting the big hits with men in scoring position with 2 outs.
So 3-0, they turned him loose, and he threw something off speed that wasn't a fastball. And Granderson way out in front. Casey Jansen warming for the Blue Jays. Line drive down the right field line, but foul. In these situations, Billy Martin used to have a play, especially with a fast runner at third. He'd have the runner at first base take off and fall down. And then the Blue Jays would have to make a decision. Are they throwing through? And Gardner's just taking off. And Billy would just have the runner just fall down between first and second and make the defense have to make a play. Let's see if Jeter's going on 3-2. Blue Jays might think he is.
Buck Showalter one day in a scouting meeting before we played the White Sox said, if we get an opportunity late in the game, I want you to intentionally get picked off and make Frank Thomas throw you out at second. Gerald Williams, 8th inning tie game, something like that, gets picked off. Frank Thomas throws it into left center field. He ends up at third. We score a run, win by 1. So these things come to play so much more.
That one is hit to right field and deep. Going back, Bautista on the track, looking up. See ya! A 3-run home run for Granderson, and the Yankees lead 5-2. So he takes the power from BP and uses it in the game.
Curtis Granderson got ahead in the count 3-0 and worked it all the way back to 3-2 and gets a fastball right down the middle, and he does not miss it. Again, we talk about the extra outs that the Blue Jays have given the Yankees this inning. Curtis Granderson makes Jesse Litch pay.
Teixeira rips one deep to right. That ball is a foul ball.
You saw that ball to Granderson's really the first 4-seam fastball that had no movement from Litch all day, and picking it up in the seats. See that just rotation, just ball sitting right there. Great feeling as a hitter. Bautista didn't move much. I thought he had a play on it. That ball was way out of here.
The 0-1. Grounded right into the teeth of the shift. And McDonald throws out to Sheriff for the second out. 8 home runs for Curtis Granderson and 18 runs batted in.
A different personality from where he was last year at this time. Remember, he got off to such a tough start. Kind of had to dig his way out of a hole the whole second half of the year.
Here's Alex Rodriguez against Litch. Now, you can't say that everything would have happened the same way, but if they would have just taken the out at first base, the home run is a 2-run home run and not a 3-run home run. The same pitches probably aren't made, but it does bear thinking about it. And one of the concerns that the Blue Jays have about Escobar is that he's so talented and has such a great arm that sometimes he gets lazy with his footwork and relies on the arm too much. And I think that was a clear case of that. The 0-2. What a difference a year makes. Granderson hits his 8th home run on May 1st. He didn't hit his 8th last year until July 25th. 0-1-2. Remember, the year before the Yankees got Granderson with the Tigers, he had 30 home runs in a very big ballpark, Comerica Park. He was hurt last year for about a month. Also struggled when he was healthy. Maybe he puts a 30 on the board again. As Alex swings and misses, and Alex is now 0 for 3. But the Yankees get 4 runs, 3 of them on one swing. Curtis Granderson, a 3-2 pitch, deposits it into the seats, and the Yankees at the end of 5, they lead this one 5-2.
The sounds of spring. It's a symphony best appreciated at full blast. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Spring's best event from Cadillac. But like the beauty of spring, it won't last long.
Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this exceptional offer.
Have you ever imagined having your own outdoor paradise? For years, our customers have told us again and again how Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech have changed the way they live. And I can say for years, because Cambridge paving stones made with ArmorTech means the color will never fade and will look the same for years to come. The best outdoor living ideas come from Cambridge.
Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech will always look like new.
The in crowd. They know the in spots, the in places, inside and out. They know the beautiful people, and they know how to get there in style. The in crowd, those who choose Infinity of Manhattan. In Manhattan, yet in keeping with low price and high quality, and inviting the tri-state area to save on the G25X at an insider's price of only $275 per month. So get into the in crowd. Get into Infinity of Manhattan.
When I was a young pup, I learned how to sniff out the pick of the pre-owned Lexus litter and how to be a woman or man's best friend when it came to finding the lowest prices. Now that I'm older, I look back on my pedigree and feel pride in the thousands of people who've lapped up the savings I've pointed them to. Like a dog with a bone, I won't stop until you find the model, year, and color you'll love, or exchange it within 48 hours with our worry-free exchange policy. Don't get me wrong, working like a dog to hunt down the perfect pre-owned Lexus for you wasn't all hard work.
Well, it's time for another look at today's Toyota Text Ball. Again, the question, which of these injured players due back soon will have the biggest impact upon returning? You've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you voted. A close vote. 46% think it's Evan Longoria, and the Rays have played well without him. Zach Greinke for the Brewers, and then Neftali Feliz for the Texas Rangers. 5-2 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Ivan Nova has a chance to pick up his second victory of the year, and he'll deal with Juan Rivera to lead off. And there's a strike as Rivera shows a bunt.
A big spot in the game for Nova here. His last outing went 6 1/3. Here he finds himself in the 6th inning with a 3-run lead.
There's a strike.
It's kind of been a problem for him in his young career, getting through a lineup a couple of times, but outstanding. 45 strikes, 28 balls, pitch count in great shape. That's 73.
Threw 92 pitches last time, 1 out into the 7th inning. And that's the deepest he's ever gone in a game. Breaking ball was high and inside. Joe Girardi, and we heard from him at the start of the game, says he didn't want to make excuses, as you see Soriano getting loose. Didn't want to make excuses, but he felt that the cold weather and the wet weather did not help Ivan Nova. He said Nova has not said anything, and there he drops a breaking ball on the outside corner to freeze Rivera for the first out. And the last 2 starts he's made, it's been beautiful weather.
I'll tell you what, the last 2 starts he's had that curveball, and you see that this is such a good curveball because you see it just locks up hitters. You don't even get swings on it, and it big break.
Here's JP Arancibia.
I'm just having flashbacks to all those times in Tampa where working with a young staff and some of the thoughts that go through pitchers' minds. Kid out here, he just gets a 3-run lead, and the thought is, if I can get through this inning, I have a good chance for a win.
That one's driven into right field. It's a base hit. Fielding it out there is Swisher, and Arancibia picks up a double.
Instead of thinking pitch to pitch, almost thinking about the end result. If I can get 3 outs, get through the 6, I got a 3-run lead. I'm in good shape with my bullpen. All of a sudden, Arancibia gets a fastball out over and drives it the other way. Michael, getting back to Joe Girardi's comments about Nova, I don't think I played with any players that said, I love it when it's freezing cold and rainy out there. I mean, it's a problem for everybody at the beginning of the year.
To the point where in the off season, when the schedule came out, I couldn't wait to get to see where you opened up. And if you opened up in California or opened up in a dome, such an advantage. I mean, everybody loves to play at home. But, you can play at home in June and July when it's 80 degrees, too, and it makes it much nicer early in the year.
It seemed that during the championship run, Paul, it seemed like the Yankees always open on the West Coast.
It was nice, wasn't it?
The year that you guys won 125 games, you opened on the West Coast, and you were 1-4. And there was that meeting, and
yeah, that's right.
Things turned around.
Is it the year we opened up in San Diego for some exhibition games?
I believe it was.
we ended up.
The bus almost tipped over.
Yeah, the bus went up on one of the medians. Jeff Nelson asked the bus driver, "What do you think is a monorail?" We were like hanging on one of those things, man. I think that's when we walked across the line. We had to get out of the bus and walk. Oh man. 3 o'clock in the morning, a little walk on the street.
Well, I think that the team, if you remember, Paul, the team had landed in Mexico.
Yeah, we had to walk across to the booth or whatever.
And the only reason the Yankees were able to get through was because the Mexican border guards recognized Don Zimmer because of his head. And
Zim.
The 3-1 fouled away, and also the bus that almost tipped over was the player bus.
Yeah.
And running up the bus and onto the coaches and the staff bus was David Wells.
Boomer.
Yeah.
My first thought was they let him back in the country.
Yes.
He got through.
Yeah, Mexico didn't want him, man. It was just a start to a great season, you know?
Yep. Popped up. Gardner shading his eyes from the sun, puts it away. No. But the guy was sitting next to, I didn't think either would be a
Yeah, but you know
broadcaster.
what? Boomer, I'm sure, takes advantage of the 7-second delay. Huh? Don't you definitely have to have the 7-second delay when Boomer's calling the game?
Paul, because you say, you always ask me questions. Of those three, who's the most nervous? Mom, sister, or girlfriend?
I would say Mom. Yeah.
I'd say sister doesn't really care.
Nah, sister's
Girlfriend's
just
got a lot
happy to be
invested.
here. Yeah. Girlfriend's just hoping he has a great career. And a future engagement ring. That's what the girlfriend's worried about. Doesn't really care about this series. It's the overall picture.
Yeah, it's a cumulative, yeah. That RBI, that's another carrot. Here's the 0-2. 1-2. So we agree it's Mom.
I think it's Mom.
AJ takes a deep breath, trying to hold this Yankee lead. It's 5-4 now. Blue Jays have actually out-hit the Yankees 9-7, but the Yankees lead. Trying to keep Rivera close. The 1-2. Grounded foul. Yankees 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Much better than yesterday when they were 0 for 8. Blue Jays 0 for 4 today, but they do have 2 sac flies.
See, AJ Burnett, that's as long as I think I've ever seen him hold a runner. Early in the game, the Blue Jays, everybody was taken off from second base, but with 1 out, can't let that guy steal. Puts you in a sacrifice fly position. A lot of pitchers just don't want to worry about runners, but it always surprised me how the great pitchers were good at everything.
Runner goes throw to third. Got him. Great throw by Russell Martin.
Strike him out, throw him out.
Edwin Encarnacion goes down looking, obviously, and John Farrell did not like that call, so that will do it. Called that strike 3, and then Martin with the great throw and a good tag by Chavez. It's 5-4 Yanks.
That's 6 so far today.
And it's not even noon.
I don't get it. Why are all of our customers switching to coffee from W.B. Mason?
Well, they sell Green Mountain coffee.
So?
At great low prices.
So?
With lots of delicious flavors. And 1 cup brewing means no waste, no mess.
Yep, we clean our pots every month.
And WB delivers fresh coffee every day.
Enough already. There's nothing wrong with our coffee. They just don't know what they're missing. Who but W.B. Mason?
New York City, the financial center of the world. At Bank of America, we live and work here, with thousands of employees, hundreds of branches, and over 1,000 ATMs. Every day, we're working to help set opportunity in motion, from funding construction of the nation's greenest skyscraper, to supporting local businesses that drive our economy. Because when you're giving, lending, and investing in more communities across the country, more opportunities happen.
When Ford swaps your ride, you tend to talk about it a lot. You've had the Escape for a week.
I was a Honda guy for a long time. The Escape actually has great gas mileage. I need something fuel efficient. It's very important. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I keep a ton of stuff in my car.
You have the park assist in that, right?
You take your hands off the wheel. It's crazy.
How's that work on your Honda?
What Honda?
Now, current competitive lessees can get a 2011 Escape for just $189 a month for 24 months.
I think we need to try it a little longer, about a year.
After a grueling season for Arsenal, it's down to one do-or-die match. Monday, Arsenal has been battling Manchester United all year for the Premier League's top spot. Now the two teams clash at the Emirates as the Gunners look to keep their title hopes alive and upset United. It all starts Monday at 11, right here on Yes.
Well, tomorrow it's a Sunday matinee as the Yankees close out this series of the Blue Jays in the Bronx. Complete coverage starts at noon with an Audi batting practice today, followed by the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Paul, John, Ringo, and I are back with all the action. It all starts tomorrow at noon, only on Yes.
I get to play drums, too. You singing?
Yes. I'll sing a little, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Flash, can you background sing? A little bass guitar?
I know my strengths, and that's not one of them.
You're on your own now, Michael.
5-4 Yankees lead, bottom of the 6th inning. Gardner is 1 for 1 with a walk. And the one was an RBI single. Yankees have left 6 runners on base. Sean Camp, the third pitcher used by John Farrell. Strike. Gardner has now reached base in 8 of his last 10 plate appearances.
Gardner was struggling, about a week ago? It's hard to imagine a guy who runs like this getting in a slump for very long.
Strike 3. Down looking.
Those are your bats that you just walk back and I didn't even give myself a chance. I took 3 strikes. I didn't even swing. And sometimes, you know, that ball fooled him. That ball was borderline up and away. But a lot of times as a hitter, you know, you want to be too perfect. You know, you go up, you see a pitch, you strike 1, strike 2 before you know it. You know, you're walking back to the dugout and you shouldn't even have taken your bat out there.
Mark Zepchinski, the lone left-hander in the Blue Jay bullpen.
I'm going to leave that name for you, Michael, huh? That's a good Scrabble name. I know that.
Big plans tonight, Paul?
You know it's tonight. Frank and Mary.
Frank and Mary.
Frank and Mary. It's like the break-in weekend. Huh?
We got to get Frank and Mary on center stage because I think they've got stories to tell.
I'll tell you one thing. If you got Frank on there, you better double up the hour because he's got a lot to tell you.
Now, I know the Flaherty clan is actually at the ballpark, so that pretty much precludes. There they are.
Wow, what is that?
That's a Where's Waldo convention, I guess. That, of course, is not John Flaherty's family.
Relatives, but not family.
The 0-2. I'm just curious because the 3 kids are here, John. Will they eat so much at the stadium that it will render dinner useless?
Yeah, they'll be taken care of. By the time we get in the car on the way back, his job is getting loose. My wife and I will talk about dinner. They don't need to be involved.
We can talk about this because they're here and they can't listen. I mean, this is kind of a game plan for you today. Feed the kids at the ballpark. And then, you know, you and your wife can take care of yourself later.
Well, like I said, we had a busy morning. A soccer game, 2 lacrosse games, a baseball game, all before noon.
Wow.
Then they come down, enjoy the ball game for a few hours. Kids will eat for 3.5 or 4 hours. We're on pace for that today. Wife and I will grab a nice meal.
5-4 Yankees lead. 0-2 on Jeter. He swings and misses. 2 strikeouts for Sean Camp. Jeter's now 0 for 3 today.
Camp, usually a guy who's tough on righties, has a tough time with lefties. Struck out Brett Gardner with a backdoor slider.
Yeah, he's figuring that's enough.
Yeah.
That good a pitch. You only get 2 outs. There we go.
He tries to play it off.
Here's Curtis Granderson. Curtis with an RBI single. He's 1 for 3 today. Struck out, single to center, and then flied out to right. Bottom of the 6th, 5-4 Yankees lead. And there's a strike from Camp.
Hey, Toronto's got some guys they can file out of that bullpen that can get some outs. Ends up with Rush at the end of the game. Big 6'10" guy we saw last night, closer. So you know, if they get their starting rotation and their offense around it, it's amazing. You know, we talked about it last night how hard it is to make noise in the American League East, but they're a pretty solid team.
They like their first 3 starters. They really like their bullpen. The offense is a work in progress. No more Vernon Wells. A couple of years ago, Alex Rios was picked up off waivers. Lyle Overbay gone. So it's a completely different look for the new manager, John Farrell. He's trying to be aggressive, make things happen. The 2-1. Strike.
You ever picture yourself as a manager, Flash, and the things you would do? I would steal bases like Farrell. I love to see guys in motion. I think it puts pressure on the defense. Guys are moving, gets you extra hits. Joe Girardi, on the other hand, has disciplined hitters who draw counts and drive in runs.
Long run for Encarnacion. He can't make the play. And it was too long a run for Rivera out and left. So it falls untouched. No play it scored.
Covering a lot of ground, looking to find where the fence is, and then all of a sudden maybe that wind factor there, Paul, bringing the ball back a little bit towards the playing field.
Looks like he had a beat on it. In his last 2 steps, he kind of went at a 90-degree angle, which tells you that, you know, all of a sudden the ball did move at the end.
The 2-2. Just missed outside with the breaking ball.
This game is showing you the importance of a good bullpen, and obviously every team wants to have a good bullpen, but Drabek struggled. Now all of a sudden this game has settled down with some of the relievers coming out of the pen for the Blue Jays.
Swing and a miss. It gets away from Molina. No, they say it's a foul ball.
All right,
Gardner tried to buy it and go to first.
Here's
or
the
should
question.
I say Granderson?
If Granderson swings and misses and does not think he fouls it off, which it doesn't look like he did, he jumps running out of the box thinking he's got to get to first base. I think Wally Bell missed one there.
Why didn't Granderson argue that then?
Why would he argue?
Why would he argue?
3.
But he would have been at first base.
Oh, the ball was right there with Molina. Molina should have been the one. Did it go to the backstop?
Yeah, it kicked away. High fly ball, right center field. Bautista will make the play, shading his eyes from the sun. And that will do it as Kemp has had 6 up and 6 down. We go to the 7th. 5-4 Yanks. For a group outing and a game day suite. Game day suites can accommodate groups between 12 and 382 guests with all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage packages. Mark your special occasion and make it legendary. Operators are standing by right now at 212-YANKEES, or you can email suites@yankees.com or log on to yankees.com/suites. Well, the Yankees go to the bullpen, and this is the formula. They have a lead, and in the 7th inning, they're going to go to Jabba Chamberlain. And those are Jabba's numbers so far. A strikeout per inning, 9 hits, 3 walks, so a whip of 1, which is very good. ERA of 4.50, and he has 5 holds. So Jabba on in relief of A.J. Burnett, who gave the Yankees 6 innings, and on the Cadillac scoreboard, those 6 innings have the Yankees up 5-4.
The infamous whip, Michael, when did that come about? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? How long has that been around?
The hold?
No, the whip.
Oh, the whip? It's kind of a, it's been a fantasy stat for longer than that. Sabermetricians look at it because they think the 1 is really the key number. I'd say 5 years.
5 years? Because I was going to say, I've never. Flash, did you ever hear of a whip?
Never. Never.
Now, whip, by the way, is walks and hits per innings pitched. And that one is lined by Molina right to Gardner. And anything around 1 is outstanding.
So Jabba in last night's ball game getting an inning of work. Actually did a nice job throwing a slider for a strike. Velocity in the mid-90s.
Now, what do you make of this, John? A.J. only threw 82 pitches. Did they just think he was running out of effectiveness?
I think it was a hard 80. How many was it?
82.
82. I think he had to work a lot in this ball game. He gave up 9 hits, 4 runs. What, he strike out 3? I don't think he walked a batter. So, I mean, it was.
His last outing, he threw, what, 8?
8 innings.
A lot of pitches. And today, to me, he had a lot of long breaks, 15, 20-minute innings. And I thought he threw the ball well. I was surprised that he gave up the runs that he did. He put himself in some positions, but I think he threw the ball better.
Backhanded by Chavez. He can still do it at third base. 6-time Gold Glove winner showing it off right there to retire McCoy.
We're probably going to get another look at this, but it looked like it hit the lip of the grass and the dirt and stays down. Now maybe a little bit further than that. Still a nice backhand, strong throw across the diamond.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Davis. And he grounds one to short. Good job by Chamberlain. Easy 1-2-3 as the Blue Jays go down in order. At the end of 6.5 on a 6-pitch inning by Jabba. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, but we'll stay right here with the Yankees leading 5-4 to honor America in the Bronx. Thank you very much, Nancy. We'll hear from Nancy a little bit later on, along with Jack on the postgame show. The Cadillac scoreboard, bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees are leading the Blue Jays 5-4. Impressive. Top of the 7th by Jabba. 1-2-3 inning and 6 pitches. He looked good.
Well, I mentioned last night throwing the slider for a strike. He got a couple of easy ground balls on the slider this afternoon. Impressive inning.
Well, Mark Teixeira will spin around to the right side against Zipchinski. And there's a strike.
Four hits and 11 2/3.
Grounded sharply to Encarnacion. And there's one away. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead. Jesse Litch will go for the Blue Jays. He's 2-1, 3.86. Ivan Nova 1-2, 5.82. Everything's going to start at noon with the BP show. 12:30 is the pregame, and then right around 107, 108, the first pitch of the final game of this 3-game set. Ivan Nova coming off a strong start against the Chicago White Sox. Here's Robinson Cano against the lefty. Squibbed down to third. It was kicking back toward fair territory, but Encarnacion grabbed it. That was a pool cue.
One of those swings you take as a left-handed hitter. Everything bails out. You don't even know where the ball went. You know whether to run, where it went, where the heck it went. Open up, it's out in front of you.
We've seen runners not run on that, then get embarrassed when it rolls back fair. But Cano did go.
All right, Michael. Cano's got 12 career at-bats against this lefty.
Right.
How many hits he got?
I'd say 4.
All right, 3. How many home runs?
I'd say 1.
Oh, right on the nose. Just out of nowhere, too. 3 for 12 for the home run career.
And the pitch. Oh, got him. That sounded bad from up here. So he's going to take first base.
It looks like it got him in the back elbow.
Didn't get him on the elbow, like he got him on the forearm.
Forearm, yeah. Wow. You mentioned last night, Paul, that lefty who can throw the fastball inside obviously gets away from Zepchinski a little bit. Sure, that doesn't feel good right now. Probably not going to feel a whole lot better tomorrow.
Here's Nick Swisher with a runner on first. Nick is 1 for 3. Against the Yankees, Zipchinski 1-2 in 6 games. A very bloated 8.72 ERA. And 5 of those 6 games were starts. Now working out of the bullpen. And Rafael Soriano getting ready for the 8th inning. The 1-0. Popped up. Shallow right. Oh, what a play by McCoy, and he's going to double up Cano to end the inning. Outstanding play by McCoy. Bautista didn't have a chance at it. McCoy an over-the-shoulder grab and a slide, and he gets up and fires to first for the inning-ending double play. Game, text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Eric Chavez. Number 2, Mike McCoy made a very good play to end the bottom of the 7th. Number 3, AJ Burnett. Number 4, Russell Martin. You can vote now, make your voice heard, and standard text messaging rates certainly apply. So let's see how Rafael Soriano bounces back after a rough last outing. Soriano still adapting to his 8th inning role. And he will face 2, 3, and 4 in the Blue Jay order. This is what Soriano's done so far this year in 11 games, 7.84. 10 1/3, 12 hits, 8 walks, and 7 strikeouts.
I think you want to look what Soriano is location. I mean, it's got nothing to do with velocity. A lot of balls down the middle of the plate.
Tough hop, and Chavez stays with it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Tell you what, Chavez can play. Offensively, defensively, you forget how good he was in Oakland because of the injuries the past couple of years. In between hops, things like that. I mean, that's not an easy play.
You know, Paul, getting back to Soriano, though, looking at those numbers on the year, I'm amazed 8 walks already. And I was working the Minnesota series the first week of the year here at home. He could throw a ball anywhere he wanted to, right on the corners, down at the knees. Obviously, that's gotten away from him a little bit and has had some trouble.
Wow.
Now, why would Bautista try to bunt?
I don't know if he's just trying to see a pitch or what, but that ball right there, I think he got in the line of flight through the umpire because that was a good pitch.
Chavez deep and close to the line, guarding against the double. The 1-0. 2-0.
When you know it, though, a guy like Soriano has had some rough times lately. You got a 1-run game. Bautista, who's locked in, and now he's ahead in the count, 2-0.
Yeah.
Big cut, fouled away.
A little respect there, a little 2-0 slider. More importantly, down.
Readjusted his neck after that swing. I mean, he gets a lot of bat speed. He's not, I mean, you would think of a guy 50-some home runs as a big hustler. I mean, he's not a huge guy, but he generates a lot of bat speed. Big swing.
There's a big swing, and the count 2-2. Bautista 1 for 3 today.
With something extra on this fastball after a 2-0 slider. He comes back with a fastball up in the zone a little bit, able to get it by Bautista. Not an easy thing to do lately.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Soriano deals. Popped up. Shallow left. Coming on Gardner. Still coming. 2 away. Tomorrow, don't miss a new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. The skipper sits down to discuss the best plays and moments from the first month of the season. Plus, he'll answer your questions submitted on Facebook and Twitter. It's a new Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 5 only on Yes. Crowd of 42,460 here at the stadium today. Beautiful Saturday. Here's Adam Lind. And a strike. Yankees lead the American League in average attendance, and they're second in the major leagues in average attendance behind the Phillies. And the 0-1. Line drive, a base hit. So Lind is 2 for 3 today. keeps the inning alive against Soriano. And for Lynn, these 2 hits extend his hitting streak to 6 straight. Mariano, a spectator out there. The pitch to Rivera is a strike. Soriano is looking for his first hold since April 19th. Frank Francisco warming for the Blue Jays.
Got a couple guys over on the Yankee bench that are anxiously awaiting to get through this inning. Get some confidence in Soriano's head. That's Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi.
There's a strike.
Good fastball. Got a couple real good fastballs by Bautista. Kind of tied him up, which you haven't seen all series.
It looks like he's a little bit freer and easier this inning today. I mean, I know he had some back problems a little while back. Looks pretty smooth this afternoon.
Yankees lead 5-4, top of the 8th inning. Runner at first, 2 outs. 0-2 count on Juan Rivera, who's 2 for 3 today with a 9-game hitting streak and good numbers against Soriano. Stays alive by fouling it away. Soriano had that rough outing against the White Sox, and a lot of people jumped on his demeanor on the mound. I thought Joe Girardi said it best. He was like that when he saved 45 games. Why would he change? Why would he become a different person? He's very stoic on the mound. His looks do not portray much emotion. The 0-2. Nice backhanded pick by Russell Martin.
Not an easy thing to do on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball down and away when you're setting up inside. It's just all reaction.
And then to think about throwing to first base too. And your natural reaction as a runner, you see the ball in the dirt, you get leaning the wrong way, but he got you.
I'll tell you what, you can see why Rivera has good numbers off of Soriano. I mean, a slider down, he didn't even budge right there. It looked like he saw it right out of his hand. There are some pitchers, you just get a good look. You see the ball early. He picked up that slider right away.
The 2-2. Lofted to right field and deep. Swisher has room on the track. He puts it away. And Soriano keeps it at 5-4. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-4 Yankees.
Look outside. It's grow time. So let's plant some perennials that'll turn up every year. Trees and shrubs to give us depth. And fill it out with flowers placed in just the perfect place. Let's spend less, but plant more. What do you say we plant a weekend, water it, and watch a summer spring up? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We're lowering the cost of putting down some roots. Get 1 gallon perennials 3 for just $10.
People tested the Chevy Cruze LTZ against the competition.
It's sleek, it's compact.
A little bigger than I expected.
Nice looking car.
See for yourself. Test drive Cruze against the competition during Dare to Compare. Only at your participating Chevy dealer. Or check out the EPA estimated 42 mpg Highway Cruze Eco, the best highway miles per gallon of any gas engine in America.
Qualified lessees can get a low mileage lease on a 2011 Chevrolet Cruze LS for around $159 a month. Call for details. Find your nearest dealer on ChevyOffers.com.
I thought if you had an older home, there was no way you could reduce your energy costs.
Boy, was I wrong.
We had our house performance tested by a contractor, certified by the Building Performance.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. So Rafael Soriano works a scoreless 8th inning, and now Frank Francisco will come on. This will be his 5th game, 6 strikeouts and 4 1/3 to this point, as the Blue Jays try to hold it right here, and then they'll take their chance against Mariano Rivera in the 9th. So far, the Blue Jays bullpen has done a nice job. Jason Frazier, Sean Camp, and now let's see how Francisco does. Blue Jays with 10 hits, Yankees 7, but the Yankees have the lead 5-4. Trying to even this series at a game apiece. Francisco deals. Foul back.
Funny, the first 3 or 4 innings, you thought this was going to be a slugfest. All of a sudden, the bullpens have shut guys down.
You know what? I left out a pitcher. Mark Zepchinski also did a good job. Just that his name was too long to write in the scorebook.
Didn't fit.
Yeah, I just wow. He worked a scoreless 7th. And the 0-2. Missed inside. Chavez, Posada, and Martin. Here in the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees try to build on this lead. Nubbed out toward third. Kicks foul.
Wow. Did you see the movement on that pitch?
Did it split, it looked like?
In the world, I don't know. Back of sliders.
Yeah.
Even in slow motion, that ball moved a lot.
The 1-2. 2-2. So far today, Chavez is 1 for 2, a ribby and a walk. Hitting .310 with 9 hits. On base percentage of .429. Two. Foul back. Lights are on, but not a cloud in the sky. Shade pretty much covering the entire field. Some splashes of sunlight out in right center. That's about it. Place looks great. Grounded to short. Escobar. 1 out. Well, after the final out, don't miss the WB Mason postgame show as Nancy Newman and Jack Curry break down the big plays from this game and bring you highlights from around the league. Plus, Joe Girardi's going to give his reaction. It's all coming up on the postgame. It's only on Yes. Here is Posada, and Jorge is 0 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. 1 for his last 27.
For 27 sounds like a little confidence knock time here, Paul. Get a base hit. Yeah, start feeling good about yourself again.
I don't care if you're young or you're a veteran. You start looking into 27 at bats. It starts to wear on you.
Well, those numbers also combine for his average. He's hitting 127. Last day of April, and you know, it gets to be May, and you're looking up there, and you're on the low interstate numbers. It starts to wear on you.
You know, and you can feel good about the 6 home runs. Obviously, I mean, 6 home runs for a month. It's very respectable, but that batting average, it just seems to jump out at you, Paul.
Which is really weird too, because usually when you're hitting 120 something, you're not doing anything.
Right.
And early on, he hit some home runs, and the two don't tie together. Usually when you're hitting home runs, you're doing other things also.
The 2-1. Lofted to left field deep, giving chase Rivera. And when you're struggling, those get caught as Rivera hauls it in. 2 outs.
Yeah, Michael, you're right. I mean, when you're struggling, it looks like there's 15 fielders out there. There's no green grass, and there's just guys with gloves everywhere. Rivera makes a good catch, but you know, it's a better swing. But again, when you're talking 27, 28 at bats, where you know you just haven't had anything to help your confidence, you don't want good swings. You want hits. You want things that show up in the box scores to make you feel good about helping this team.
Strike to Russell Martin. Russell 1 for 2 with a walk and RBI. Russell keeps this up, and with the injury to Joe Mauer, Russell could be playing himself onto the All-Star team. 1 month in, he's been a revelation for the Yankees. Chop slowly to short. Escobar. And that'll do it. So 1-2-3 inning for Frank Francisco. Well, now the Yankees go to their closer, Mariano Rivera. He will try to nail this one down. Back to his old way of wearing his pants, not showing the socks. He has 8 saves, 12 games, 2.31 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 11 2/3, 10 hits and 2 walks. For a while there, a couple of weeks, he had a lot of blue showing. And whenever he asked him about it, he goes, why do people care? I said, because it's you.
He gets to face a rookie here without his first big league hit, too.
Now, you're sure that David Cooper has seen Mariano plenty of times, probably envisioned facing him. I wonder if he thought about it bottom of the 9th inning and he's still looking for his first big league hit.
He has his game plan. I'm going to probably get some cutters inside. Maybe I'll leak a little bit early, look for it, and try to pull it into right field. A lot easier when you see it on TV than when you get up there trying to do it.
There's a strike. Yankees trying to hold on to a 5-4 lead. Popped up. Cano is there, and Cooper still looking for his first hit. And that's the Cooper family watching and hoping and waving. But it doesn't get it done. Ball lands in Cano's glove. So 1 down. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. Pitches high. Chavez playing very close to the third base line, trying to guard against the extra base hit. Outfielders also at no doubles depth. Strike. You saw that Encarnacion 1 for 2 against Rivera, the one being a home run. That one is driven to center field. Granderson went back, now comes in, and he'll put it away for the second out. So the Blue Jays are down to their final out.
Another cutter from Mariano Rivera, starts middle of the plate. Moves away. Encarnacion off the end of the bat a little bit. And speaking of home runs, Yankees haven't hit a home run today, right? They've been living and dying with that this year. Be a nice win if Mariano can pick up the last out of the game.
And Jose Molina steps in. Swing and a miss.
It's funny how a lot of people go up and I'm going to take a pitch last inning. You know, Molina knows him. He's not going to walk him. You might as well go up and get your 3 swings in.
$42,460, most of them standing up. Molina 1 for 5 lifetime against Rivera. And he's in an 0-2 hole.
Well, there's 2 of them, Flash. Yep. He's got 1 more.
And the 0-2. Molina stays alive. Two veterans, 60 feet, 6 inches away. Game on the line. And the 0-2. Another foul ball. A.J. Burnett would get the win. Jabba Chamberlain a scoreless 7th. Soriano a scoreless 8th. And the end of the formula is Mariano here in the 9th. So far, 2/3 of the way there. The 41-year-old sets, deals, outside.
Was there an easier guy to catch than Mariano?
No, he put the ball right where you wanted to. You ask him to elevate a fastball, he would do it. Off the plate, inside.
Really only have 2 pitches. 90% of the time it's 1 pitch and a cutter.
The 1-2 pitch. Molina really battling.
You feel like they have him set up for that front hip cutter now. They've been throwing away, away, away. We'll see if Mariano tries to freeze him inside. Get a called 3rd strike. Again, the danger with that, a 1-run game. If he cheats for it a little bit, could try to pull it into the seats.
One, 2. Another foul ball.
Mariano shake off much?
No.
He basically just goes along.
Got a big smile on his face. He's enjoying this battle with Molina right here. Former catcher. Throwing him so many pitches away. You think you got plenty of room inside. We'll see if he goes to it. No, back away.
1-2. Lined into center field. It's a base hit. It's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. And Molina will chug into second with a double.
I'll tell you what, you don't see too many better at bats off Mariano Rivera than you saw right there. Molina didn't give in, didn't cheat, just looked outside. Here's another cutter. This ball was up in the zone, though. Good piece of hitting. I don't see too many balls hit that hard on Mariano.
Corey Patterson will pinch run at second. That's the tying run. Here's McCoy. Pitch is high.
When McCoy has a chance to have a great day, you see Corey Patterson pinch running at his first career home run in the big leagues. Made a nice play in
really
short
nice
right
play.
Center field, double play. Now you get a chance to tie this ball game up.
The 1-0 outside, 2-0. Toronto won the first game of the series 5-3, but didn't hit really with runners in scoring position. In the series overall, the first 2 games 1 for 15 in these spots. The 2-0 blew it right by him. 2-1. 4-11-0 Blue Jays, 5-7-0 Yankees. Molina satisfied, big smile, his battle with a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. The 2-1. 2-2. Yankees 1 strike away. Patterson with a big lead off second. The 2-2 to McCoy. Fly ball right field. This should do it. Nick Swisher makes the play. Ball game, put it on the left side, and the Yankees win this one 5-4. So it wasn't easy for Mariano in the 9th inning, but he gets it done. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. You have to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game, as the Yankees and the Blue Jays have now split the first 2 games of this series, and that is the 9th save for Mariano, and that marks the most that Mo has ever had in the month of March/April. The season started on March 31st. So A.J. Burnett will get the win, and his April finishes 4-1. Yankees were worried or concerned, would he spin around his bad year from last year? And he's certainly done that in the first month of the season. Joe Girardi has to be happy. And offensively, a sac fly by Jeter, RBI single by Granderson, RBI by Russell Martin, RBI by Brett Gardner, and the Yankees get it done, and they win this one 5-4. One of the guys who had the RBI is Russell Martin, and our very own Jack Curry is with him in front of the Yankee dugout. Jack?
Thanks a lot, Michael. Russell, I have to start with this interview by talking about pitching. What about the 6 innings that A.J. gave you guys?
I thought he was tremendous today. Had a little bit of trouble locating his curveball, but he battled his butt off. You know, threw some fastballs down in the zone for the most part, and I think that was the key for him, locating his fastball.
And then your bullpen trio gives you 3 scoreless. Let's break them down. What about Jabba? That was a fast inning.
Jabba located a slider for a strike. That was big. Got some quick outs with that. I think he threw we're behind the count, able to throw a slider, and we got weak contact. And then Soriano came in and did a good job for us. I thought he just did a good job of pounding the strike zone early, getting that strike 1. And Mo did his thing, throwing cutters and got the game, got the save. So that's all we got.
And now what about Toronto's pitcher? What about the approach you guys took against Drabek? You had an early run-scoring single against him. Was some of it patience with Drabek?
Just keeping him in the zone. He's got good movement on his fastball. And I think the key for us was really just, making him throw strikes. And when we got that strike, we did some damage. So.
And then finally, in the 6th inning, that strike him out, throw him out double play. How important is that in this game?
That's big. You end the inning that way. Take away the guy in scoring position, and obviously it worked out well. AJ made a great pitch, and they kept stealing on curveballs off him, and then we finally got them to go on a fastball. So that was the key, I think.
Thanks a lot, Russell.
Right, thank you.
Michael, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jack, and thank you to Russell as well. So Russell Martin continues his great first month as a Yankee, and April is over. Yankees with 15 wins are in first place, and the kids obviously like what they see as Mariano closes this out, and the Yankees win 5-4.